Hello, everybody, and welcome to the EU Pro Hubs Season 0. We are on Playday number 3. There's a little bit of a mistake down there, a little bit of a typo. This is EU, not NA. Ardy, you ready? I mean, I know you've come on over from the NA to cast this, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we're on my home turf here.
Nah, Jerry, I have so much aura that we've actually entirely changed. Oh, okay, now you twisted their arms. Now it's EU. Whatever. I guess, all right, get the EU teams in here now. Alrighty. We flipped the whole schedules, but it's fine. All the EU teams are here and waiting and ready. And guys, I hope that you have been ready and waiting and ready, because it's good to see. It's good to be back here for some more Pro Hubs, the finals. Oh, Jerry, I always love casting with you.
I love it too, Ardy. We've got 12 games of cash out on the way. 3 groups to get through. All of our teams have been mixed around, jumbled around, thrown into a pot, and they've got another bunch of teams to play against because they've done this a couple of times before already, Ardy. You and me were here last week casting them on Wednesday. We also cast on Saturday evenings as well, so come along for those. Yeah, things are starting to kind of shape up. We've got a good idea of where the at the standings right now on the right hand side of your screen there. We've got the top team at the moment is Saints 1, who we won't get to see until a couple of hours from now, in fact. But the very first group that we're casting today consists of teams pretty much from the top half of the table, if you count 7th as top half. If you squint, it's the top half.
Absolutely. But I mean, hey, one thing is that seeing Aimers Blue come back from their pretty rough day one to kind of make it all the way up. Now they're above Aimers Red. It's pretty great to see, honestly. And yeah, it's gonna be a very tough matchup today, to say the least. Especially Group A, Aimers Blue, Zesties, Crutches, and Gangala. Well, I see Aimers Blue in second. I see Gangala in third. I see Zesties in fifth.
Yep.
It's gonna be quite the very first match.
Yes, this is probably the most stacked group we have today. Just to give you a taste of what's happening later as well, our very final group actually happens to feature the bottom 3 teams alongside Saints 1. So that's going to be an absolute doozy. Everyone's scrapping to get out of that red zone there. But we'll leave that for later, chat. At the moment, let's talk about Aimers Blue, the highest ranking team in this group. We got What the Fuck, Noah X, and God Manetta. Now, yeah, they didn't have as good a first week as they could have. It was decent. Second week, though, even better. A couple of first place finishes. And yeah, they are now sitting very pretty near the top of those standings. But we're going to be starting here today, our first match of the 12 on Fortune Stadium.
I love Fortune Stadium. Favorite map in the game. You got those elements of Seoul. You got those elements of Monaco. You got those little places where everything comes together and just looks so good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful map. It really flows very nicely. We get a lovely cycle through our other 3 teams. You may notice we've got entirely HML comps across the board here. Now, before we get on in, I want to give a moment to think about the Zesties, because they have a secret weapon. Well, a not-so-secret weapon on their team right now. We have Velo, the heavy in the league, who at the moment has played a hell of a lot of Sledgehammer. Whenever he takes this Sledgehammer, they have won their match. He has a 100% record with the Sledgehammer, and right now we're not going to see him. We're going to see a bit of a standoff between Aimers Blue and Crutches. The pink team already taking heavy damage there as we see What the Fuck decides to go in for the chase. They are regrouping beneath. There comes the DMAC to try and collapse down on this orange team. Aimers Blue really just trying to clamp down on Crutches right here. Great kill coming out as the Lewis gun rings true from Aimers Blue. And you can see now as the Pink's just sort of circling. What the Fuck, actually, he's in a bit of a scrap. He's been taken out, and that was, in fact, Crutches taking the upper hand. A good retreat, baiting them downstairs and winning their gunfights down there. The wipe on the other side of things has come at the hands of Gangala. The Zesties are out for the count.
Oh, yeah. Seeing Gangala here getting ready to run this cash all the way up. It's so great over to the hand-for-hand copy of what is it, Petronel Plaza? But I like this version of Petronel Plaza a lot better, to be honest with you. Gonna be jumping in here, getting in over to cash out A. Gangala looks like they could be contested by Crutches if the Crutches decide that they have to leave. They don't want to deal with Aimers Blue. But to be honest, I feel like Aimers Blue, they're gonna come over. They're gonna take over Crutches, and Crutches might like to try to come back later. That being said, as we get on with the battlefield, looking towards where Zesties are going to possibly try to get into cash out A. But first, we'll check in on Amers Blue. Look at that rollout. It's perfect. The damage, though, what the fuck, is being mitigated from entering that corridor.
Yeah, they're going for a play beneath here. As you can see, Noah using a couple of DMAT charges to bring it down, and he closes up above. So he's taking the opportunity to go for this steal. This needs to be a good banked dome to protect him. Looks like the steal is fallen off. They've brought their opponents down. Now they can engage. Taking out the light is what the fuck. Fantastic aim there with the Lewis gun. And it doesn't look like Crutches are very on top of things here. Well, not theoretically. They are literally on top of it, though, with Yoip and Bestrig just looking to close down, but there are 2 floors beneath. And what the fuck, sticking the steal. I think he might get this.
Oh, he's sticking it. He got it, absolutely. But the damage is quite a bit. God, the net actually survives here. That light actually bullying for the top, and it looks like Bestrig down to almost 1 HP. He's going to get finished off here. God, Minetta looks like he's not out for the count yet. He's actually going to be able to take out the medium as well. Bronx is the last remaining member of Crutches. Over to the other side of the battlefield as well, we see Gangala dealing with Zesties. Looks like Crutches, they are going to be able to survive with just a single member, but let's see this. On Gangala, they are ready and waiting right now. Lasky going to be able to come back here. Jurgen, he gets the pull with the Witch Claw, but he will go down in a hail of gunfire. Honeypack Demon, he's going to be alive for now, but that's not going to last very long. That being said, Steel hasn't come through yet for the Zesties, although I believe it will come out now,
Everyone's
unless
low,
Lasky has anything to say about it. Oh, he can't do it.
Oh, so close. There was a possibility with 3 low HP Zesties targets there that Lasky might have been able to pull off something quite heroic. But as we see there, the Crutches being wiped. Amos Blue were successful on their defense on the other side as we cut away from them just to find out what was going on over here. And a bit of respite now as we have 2 teams now alone in the server, just heading probably to different vaults.
Alone, cold, wet, naked. The finals.
We assume.
That's how I play the finals. I don't know. We're going to be checking out Gangala, getting ready to dive over to the sidelines here. They're definitely out for a vengeance here. Looking at Zesties as they take a little bit of high ground, not necessarily committing to Vault 4 just yet. At the very least, they want to make sure they can get a good fight. Zesties is trying to catch up with them, but looks like Lasky is going to get the better of the 2. He takes the drop to take 1 out on Zesties. Joper going to go down as well. Zesties just out of there heavy. Looks like he is holding the res. He is going to be able to pull off that res, but it's Crutches with the gateway. They're going to be able to yoink that vault all the way over, and oh no, Cash Out D has already been plugged. It looks like that was Crutch's plan. They have to make it all the way over to C, but Bronx is going to be able to do it. He dashes out. C going to be getting plugged in by the Crutches.
Oh, Gangala are giving chase though, and they sacrificed a heavy there to take down 1 member of Crutches, but they do manage to get him back up and refrag. So over on Cash Out C, it will be a 3 versus 2 for the time being, but there's a much more immediate fight happening over here on Cash Out D. We see an attempted steal coming through, but the whole of Amers Blue are ready to engage. They've got the lock bolt, they've got the Lewis gun, and everything else in tow to try and lock people in place as they try and get this retake. But at the moment, Crutches are just sort of toying with them. Zesties, in fact, appear right now to cause some chaos, and they do smell an opportunity. They close on in, but there's backup there from the rest of the Zesties. A bit of a trade coming out as Totem's now in very difficult positions to reach. There's a lot going on right here, Hardy.
There's a lot. I mean, Zesties, they started off really strong in the first set of caches, but for this one, they are struggling a little bit. Gangala, they got their steal here. This time it's off of Amers Blue, and it looks like Lasky is going to be able to get Jurgen and everybody else all the way across. So, Amers Blue, they're going to try to reset here. The third-party situation has been kind of crazy, but Zesties have backed off since. God Minetta, he's trying to draw them out so that hopefully the medium and the heavy are going to be able to get a steal onto D. But Gangala, they're not following for it. Gangala is actually stuck in. They're holding the cash here, not getting too drawn away from the fight. This is really good. It's really good pacing to see because a lot of times teams will just go for the team fight. They'll leave it around, but these teams know how crazy tight this is going to be. That being said, for Gangala, down to just 1 singular medium. He's got to hold on to it. Luckily, it looks like it's going to be the light that's going to go for it. No, Gabanetta, he's not going in just yet.
They've missed their opportunity.
Yeah,
just
they
a
don't
little
have
bit too
it.
slow. So unfortunate. They did kind of win that fight, but they had to back up. So great play from Gangala to hold on to it for quite some time. Oh, that was a Unfortunate zip of death up there we just caught. DMAC comes through from the one medium player of Zesty's. Crutches are circling to try and get the angle, opening up the wall and taking the shots. The steal does not succeed. Airshoe taken out in the blink of an eye. In comes the backup. Stjopa taken out as well. Yoip doing bits defending his cash out. And that is a very crucial one as Crutches were in last place. This will fling them straight up to first.
Every single team has gotten a cash out so far. Look at that. Everybody in the double digits as we go on to our last set of cashes. That is what I was expecting from this lobby.
Yep, absolutely fantastic. So we have the vault now, the final wave of vaults being dropped in here. Vault number 6 as vault number 5, of course, being activated. It looks as though everyone's kind of gathering over 5, though. 6 might be relatively uncontested. Interesting that.
Yeah.
We've got Crutches our first place team, but not by much. So, you know, often you understand, you know, teams are going to be fighting over that second, third, fourth place.
Oh, big plug for Gagala through
Wow.
Wow. Oh, wait, no, Zesty's stole. Zesty's actually took it. Gagala was trying to get the plug. They were trying to get that plug money, but it was actually Zesty's that stole it out of the air centimeters away. They actually got the plug. I totally thought Gangala had that plug money. Yeah.
They've wiped them as well. That's just so heartbreaking for Gangala because now they've got a big mountain to climb. What the fuck, now fending off a very tight engage that is fairly successful from Crutches. They melted a fair few opposition there. It's not quite a wipe, but they are 2 versus 1 at the very least. It is Godmanetta on Overwatch, the light on the side of Amers Blue, trying to rain hell, but he's only got a limited HP pool. And, of course, he's the one trying to steal at this point. So I think Amers Blue going to rightfully try and back up at Godmanetta, allowing his team to coin back in. They're probably only going to get maybe one more shot at B.
That being said, I feel like a lot of people might just switch gears to go over to Zesty's because they have the time to go for it. But for now, it actually does seem like everybody wants a slice of the Crutches pie. This is pretty good. This is actually pretty crazy. Looking at Lasky just getting set up with the rest of the team. They know Amers Blue is there. They see them. But, oh, Godmanetta, he's seen him out. They just scoped completely out. But they're running out of time here. It is really going to be a big 3-team fight. As Zesties have basically secured their way in, it's going to be everybody else fighting over cash out B. We see Gangala still kind of being held out there by Amers Blue. Amers Blue, everybody about to dive in onto Crutches right now. But Crutches, they're holding steadfast. They're locked into a corner right now. Gangala, now they are behind. Amers Blue, they were pushed into the corner. They needed to go out and fight. That forced them into a bad spot here. Now Lasky going to be taking advantage of the situation. Best Ray going to be able to survive here. No, he goes down at the very last second. 20 seconds left. Will they be able to get the fight out here? Crutches, they're going to go down. Here's Zesties. They're here to grief.
Oh my god, Airshoe and Stjopa just showing up at the last moment to cause some problems, take the final shots, and Crutches, their guardian angels, have saved them from this one. Unbelievable. We see all 4 teams fighting over that final cash out. Wow, Amers Blue are not going to be happy about that one.
Oh, that was like, they started that so well with Amers Blue, but because they had to sacrifice their light to just keeping Gangala at bay while the rest of the squads tried to fight out and push up, it just didn't end up working out the way they wanted it to. So unfortunate, but absolutely big shout out here. Best Rig, Yoip, and Bronx taking the first match here on Fortune Stadium. I mean, an incredible way to start the day. 10 kills from Bronx. We saw him going crazy. I didn't know he was going that crazy.
Yeah, no, he went under the radar there, but Bronx doing some really heavy lifting there. Lasky as well, with 9 kills, a decent contribution. Unfortunately, only placing 3rd on the leaderboard. And really, when you look at the kind of points distribution, as we found out, it makes a much bigger difference to be playing for those positions, for the cash on the leaderboard, rather than to be going for kills. Of course, going for kills is, you know, part and parcel of this game. If you can get 20, 30 kills on the board, likelihood is, as a team, you're going to rank high. And, you know, $500 for every kill as well does add up in server too. So there's lots of reasons to be playing Fraggy. So yeah, shout out to Bronx, shout out to Lasky for really kind of pushing up the numbers there.
Yeah, 100%. Super, super great stuff. I'm excited to see what the next map is going to be as well as we get started out. But I mean, Fortune Stadium is always so much fun to watch, just given the fact that it has, I think, the best pacing, just because there's so many different opportunities to get around the map. All the zips are very accessible, especially with everybody running DMAT. you just have the ability to, even if you're not necessarily running like jumps and zips, every single team has the opportunity to just get in there, get crazy. And I feel like we didn't see the most fun cash outs on that map. There's definitely
No.
some better cash out spawns, but every cash out that we did see was really competitive. I think there was only one cash out that was uncontested the entire time, and that was Zesty's second cash out.
Yeah, and as we found out here in EU, there's a decent amount of kind of third partying that does happen on cash out. It's only natural, but it just goes to show that, you know, while those later cash outs are quite valuable in terms of the raw cash that you get from them, it's super important to establish a foothold, get your first couple of cash outs as cleanly as possible, because you can't rely on the chaos of endgame to carry you through necessarily. You have to make sure that you're in that top 2 position at least by getting a first couple of cash outs when, you know, the cash isn't worth quite as much, but the dominance that it gives you, the control over the game, is arguably more important.
1000%. Sorry, I heard foothold and I just kept thinking about it. But now we're here on Las Vegas, ready to jump back in. Now, Vault 1 looks like it's got a really good spot by Crutches to be able to take hold of it, but Zesty's right on toe. Could be one room away. Looking like both Gungala and Amber's Blue are diving in on height here. God Bonetta going to be going down in a hail of gunfire right now as Gungala jumps up at the top there. Take out 2. No Axe going for the res there and God Bonetta, but about to get dived on by Lasky. Ooh, a rough start for Amber's Blue. God Bonetta tries to stay alive. He's going to go out there. A really rough start by Amber's Blue. They've had a rough morning.
Yeah, for a team that has not lost a single match so far in this league, they're really not showing themselves. You know, this is the highest ranking team coming into today, besides Saints 1. It's the highest ranking team in this lobby right now. We expect a bit more from them, it has to be said. Bestrig getting ready to dive down onto the Zesties as they've tapped this vault. No, they're just going to go straight for it. They've got the gateway ready and they're going to send it straight to B. I would expect that they have some people following them quite soon, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he threw the C4 there, but the C4 unfortunately did no damage as Zesties dive through the portal, and we will see the medium take a ton of damage. He will survive, it looks like, but no, not for very long. Zesties, all 3 players still alive, although on various levels of HP, forcing the steal here as they already got the wipe onto Crutches. Absolutely crazy work. Like you said, that sledgehammer, it has aura. Oh, yeah. But we're diving back over to see Amber's Blue. Yeah, they're not going down without a fight. They are already stealing, even though Gungala still has 2 members up.
So 2 successful hot pursuits. I think this one's going to be fine. They do get the steal, but there is still some resistance beneath them. We see God Manetta going invis to try and track down his enemies. He's going to be very close here, just waiting for that opportune moment. There it is, the spray up to support his medium. And there he does get the confirm onto Honeypack Demon. Finds the last as well on the top and sends in the troops. Lasky now has to try and survive with 3 people bearing down on him. If anyone can survive, though, it's a light invis, and he does manage to get away scot-free. Thankfully, that will allow Gungala to recover, get their coins back. Looks like he's going to go in fairly early. He wants to keep the pressure up, weirdly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at the very least, get a little bit of info for the team. No, he's going for the trophies.
For the totem, yeah.
Amazing stuff there with those pre-placed gateways. Oh, but he's being traced through. I don't think that's going to end up very good for him. But we'll check in with Zesties now. All the way over to the sidelines right now in the Enjimo Casino. See what the Enjimo Casino has for us. The Zesties continue to hold on to their precious Crutches. Taken out yet again. Unable to recontest that which was rightfully theirs. Going to be looking out Gungala, trying to go in for the second attempt.
This is what we call the jack-in-the-box technique. We've got the entirety of Amber's Blue hidden inside a shipping container, ready to burst out. There's the dome. They do have a glitch, though. Out goes the gas, denies the point, forces them off. They get a few kills off the back of it as well. Looking very healthy here, Amber's Blue, as they get the wipe. What an execute. The jack-in-the-box comes good.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's so funny because, like, they're like, oh, we'll drop it down. And it's like right into my trap card. Zesties. Wait, Zesties. They're completely fine. They have no idea Crutch is even rushing in on them. Doesn't even matter. They beat him twice. They'll do it again. But remember, Crutches, they won the last one, so they're no team to scoff at, especially Bronx getting ready to keep his kills up as he gets the final bullet there on the Stioper. Looking now towards Best Rig, just trying to continue the pressure. Chase down the last 2 members of Zesties, who will be forced to use coins here, but won't be that much of an issue. But Gungala on their tail might be. Over to the Osboo's Casino to try to find Vault 4. Looks like the Zesties are starting off with that proc money early.
Oh, I think Airshoe got taken down there as well. Zesty's now in a 2 versus 3 trying to defend their point. Crutches are going to take this opportunity to go in close. Of course, it's not a point yet. It is just the vault, so this isn't too high stakes. Meanwhile, the other cash out has already been started by Amos Blue. They've gotten quickly going. Gungala, though, are coming into third party this vault. This might be a bit of a scrap, and well, Crutches are going to be way behind, or Amos Blue are going to be way ahead of the pace here. Great kills coming out from the Crutches as they find their way through, but I think they might have just suffered a bit too much in that engagement. They're getting pinched now between two teams. Who's going to come out with the box, though? That's my question. There he is.
Gungala,
It's
but
Gungala.
Zesty's on the trail. Oh, the Witch Claw, he's ready to go, ready to get the kidnap in, but Amos Blue, they're finally stable. They're over on that point that is on the rafters inside the building, looking like it's going to be all right over by Alpha Acta. Check over to the sidelines here, and honestly, I'm feeling pretty good about Zesty's on Cash Out C. Again, they've been holding this map quite well. I think that for Zesty's, Vegas has to be their best map.
Yeah, it's one that we like to call the home turf of the Gamblers as well. Another team competing in EU. I don't think they've lost on this map either, the Gamblers. It really is their home turf. But yeah, at the moment, Amos Blue making it very cozy, very home-like for themselves. Looks like how easy it was to plug for them is not going to be as easy to defend, as obviously being off the pace means that you put a big target on your backs. No one's really going to be bothered with C for the time being. They know that they can get a good fight on D if they time it well. Gungala are just sort of lurking, circling. It feels as though actually Crutches have decided they don't want to be a third party in this instance. They're going to head over to C. So we're going to get a good old-fashioned mano-a-mano standoff here. 3 versus 3. Out comes the Witch. It does not connect with anything over here. And Gungala slowly running out of time.
Oh, yeah. I think Gungala, there's no way that they take this. They've already run out, and I think they know that. So they're just trying to get out scot-free here. Zesty's still fighting Crutches. This is definitely the battle of the century here, but Gungala, they've got time to third party. This is going to be really good for Gungala. This is going to be really bad for the Crutches. I think we're going to see a similar situation to what we saw at the last cash out on Fortune, because as Zesties, they try to come in for the defense. They have no idea there's a third team. Wait, now even a fourth team possibly. Oh right. No, the greed sickens me.
Yeah, the purple team of Zesties still successfully defending here. Down goes their medium, and I think it's only the light up who takes a beating there. Yet that is the wipe on Zesties. They still have the point under their name, and they have to rely on the chaos that ensues around this point now to keep it protected. A great smoke grenade there, and some goo as Noah X attempts to steal. No, he's going to leave it to his teammate instead. Interesting choice with no mesh shield available to him. What the fuck? You see his health going down, dwindling. He gets burst off, but the steal is successful for Amos Blue, and that should do it. They paid with their lives, but they get payback plenty in cash.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The redemption arc of a lifetime for Amos Blue. 42k. They have secured the top spot here, I think, for this map. Final cash outs coming in. Unless it's doubled, Amos Blue has the opportunity to remain up at the top here. Now, we're looking towards Zesties, really trying to figure out if they need to cut off Gungala or Crutches. And for some reason, not a single person is interested in Vault 6. But we look to Zesties trying to get ready to set up over on A. But it is going to be Gungala that gets their gateway set first. There it is. Vault going to be coming through. But there's Zesties. They're already sledgehammering it down.
Yeah, they're ready to get this steal back. Question is, can Gungala defend it adequately? We see the pig team of Crutches encroaching as well. Down goes the cash out already on the bottom floor of the Osboo's Casino. Gungala just getting in position. They want to hold from above here. In comes Zesties, Artie.
Oh, Zesties, they need this. And they're doing pretty decently so far. Honeypack Demon going to be able to possibly get it. He gets a res on a Jurgen. But Zesties, they're going to be able to pump in enough damage. Oh, the offside shots almost worked out well. But once again, we're still waiting on Vault 6 to get plugged in here. Amos Blue, they're keeping their spot here. Taking out Yoit. They've only got to hold on to that vault for 40 seconds. They don't need to get it plugged in just yet. I think they're going to try to hold it.
Yeah.
Looking towards them, finish off Gungala. Crutches off in the background as well.
Yeah, Zesties have control, but oh, look, it looks like it's going to be a double for this final point.
Wow.
No, it doesn't. Sorry, that's my mistake. So we're heading sort of in a similar direction. These final two cash outs they're not too far apart from each other. Of course, Zesties won't finish in first here, no matter what. In fact, Amos
yeah.
Blue are really the only team that can finish him first, given that plug, unless Zesties decide to try and defend both at the same time at the end. So this might be a bit of a foregone conclusion, or at least a battle for second place. As we see, of course, Zesties and Gungal are both on exactly 18k. In fact, the kills could matter quite substantially here.
That being said, Amers Blue, remember, their cash out was plugged so close to overtime. They don't have to hold it for very long. That being said, Zesties, they still have a long time to go. Maybe another 25 seconds. Could have a chance. A also being stolen here. Oh, man, both of it stolen. Zesties coming into control. Oh, my goodness. Zesties has not lost control just yet, but Gungala is about to take it. Zesties get wiped. Gungala has taken control of the Zesties cash out, and it looks like Crutches took control of Amers Blue. This is not a good situation to be in right now, especially given the fact that Crutches, even with this, they won't be able to come up into second place. So for now, Crutches, they're getting the money, but it's not going to be worth anything.
Crutches have the possibility of sealing and taking first place here, though, if they manage to get it through. But these deaths are happening. No, they're actually in a good spot. There's 3 of them up, but the kills are coming in against them.
Crutches
I don't think there's enough time.
They can't even make second place with it.
No.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Yeah, wow. And Zesties, how they tumbled from second all the way down to 4th there in the final moments. Amers Blue, though, finally coming up good, putting their rough start on Fortune Stadium behind them and claiming first here on Vegas.
Oh, but like I said, though, it just took them a little bit of time to wake up. All they needed was a little kick in the butt, a little bit of an opportunity to say, hey, let's lock in here for everybody in chat. And there you go. Noah X, 3 kills. What the Fun, 3 kills. And God Medetta on 9. An absolute bloodbath here. But Lasky, again, 11 kills here. Looking over to Bronx, not giving us the same performance that we got on Fortune Stadium, but still quite an impact.
Yeah, Lasky, the most consistent fragger at present as well, it seems. You know, was it 9 kills or 8 kills on the first map and 11 here? And it's been rewarded as well. They actually finished with that second place spot this time round. So, yeah, bit of a turn of fortunes for them after Fortune Stadium, going to Vegas, you know. Now, yeah, we get a look at the standings, not fully updated yet. These are going to be moving around as we progress throughout the day, even in front of our eyes right now. So don't assume that this is how it's going to finish. But Amers Blue, of course, playing, have managed to claim that top spot for the time being. Zesties and Gongala joining them for the moment. Crutches trailing behind. They've got a slightly bigger deficit. They started in 7th today. So how far up can they get before the other teams can start climbing up and trying to surpass them again? That's, you know, it's how a league table works. I do love a good league table, Ardy. I don't know about you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what I really like about it is, especially for our Group A, it puts it into perspective a lot easier, right? We're able to kind of see how they're tailing with everybody else. But when it gets to the end of the day, when you get those Group C numbers and start to really tally up, it keeps the people that are sort of at the bottom, sort of like at that close score line to be, oh yeah, we got to show up a lot better tomorrow. But yeah, for this first day, first 2 maps, I think all these teams are feeling pretty comfortable. Moving into Bernal, this is where I expect to see the Zesties really shine.
Yeah, particularly with Velo on that sledgehammer. Previously in the tournament, he'd only ever sort of brought it out on maps that had suited them. I think they're trying something different today. They're bringing it out on Fortune, on Vegas. Not necessarily the best maps for a sledgehammer. Slightly wider lanes, longer sight lines to have to deal with. But now that we're in the tight-knit Bernal, perhaps we go to, you know, Monaco or Skyway for the final map. We don't know just yet. These will suit the sledgehammer a lot better. There have been games where Velo's brought the sledge on Monaco and teams have just ignored him. They've refused to engage. Yeah. It has that much aura, as you were talking about last time, Ardy. It is a measurable factor in the finals.
100%, especially looking towards Bernal, right? I mean, this map, you have a lot of different ways that you can force it, but when it comes down to where these vault fights take place, a lot of people really underestimate that close range combat. That's why in NA you see that triple shotgun come out on this map, and it just does so much more than you expect it to. But the Gamers Blue are tried and true with that FAMAS and the Lewis gun setup here, making sure just keep a little bit of that side distance. And look at this, they pinch Crutches in an absolute bloodbath. But oh wow, from the sidelines, just out of the gate, he's just doing some absolute damage here. Bronx. He goes crazy. Can he get it? He can't. God Vendetta, just barely.
The Battle of the Lights at the end, they are coming out on top. I loved seeing Noah playing with that jump pad outside as well. I think, he ducked in and out of the fight. People weren't expecting him to return, but he just perched up, dropped down, bounced back up, perched up, dropped down. Very, very neat, disguising his reloads, giving himself cover, and using his utility very smartly. I love to see just tiny little smart plays like that. It's what the finals is all about. Here we go. Let's have a look at Cash Out A. Zesties are under siege, it would seem.
Oh yeah, under siege, under the floorboards, and under pressure, especially as these doors are about to come flying off. Honeypack Demon ready to dive in, FCAR in hand. Let's see. Looks like Gangala's just trying to figure out the order of operations here.
Oh, there we have it. They finally spy someone. Oh, but he gets winched in. Honeypack Demon taken out. The sledge of the Zesties, too much for him to deal with, but it's 2 versus 2 on either side. Lasky has to do some bits. He's been fantastic at the fragging so far today, and he's done just that. He cleans it up. The final kill going the way of that light. I wouldn't put anything past him at the moment. He looks like he's on fire.
Oh yeah, 100%. We'll jump over to see the other cash out here. It's Aimers Blue and Yoip gonna get absolutely gobsmacked. There's the Zesties. Still really are struggling. Crutches as well, not able to necessarily maintain. Crutches just got, they had a really good stance up here, especially taking the height on the assault building. But at the end of the day, once you have Aimers Blue locked in on the target, they're gonna take their time. They're gonna lock it in, and especially coming up.
Both cash outs have changed hands as well, so you see some quite tight scores on the scoreboard. Of course, the plug gets you some money. There is a fight going on cash out A right now, so we'll get a look at that. Jurgen sending in a very nice little old-fashioned nuke. You don't get those nowadays very often.
It's good to see. I mean, it's a lot of PTSD and flashbacks, but hey, you see Zesty's about to jump in. Let's see if they're going to be able to maintain form. They winched it into the building with them. It's going to help out, but with the gas, it will be a little uncomfortable. I don't think they have time for that seal yet. That being said, we look at Aimers Blue. They're cash out A over at hotels. It is going to be under siege by a third party potentially. Aimers Blue getting stolen right now by Crutches. Oh, looks like Aimers Blue might have lost control of that cash out on the other side of the map. They did.
Seems as though that is the case, and now we get to see a bit of the defense going down. Down go the Zesties in the meantime. Aimers Blue getting rezzed, and maybe what the fuck can carry them out of this, but no. Bronx. It always seems to be the light, the last one standing. That said, Yoip just appears. He must have been having a field day right above it. We didn't see him in action for that whole engagement there, but he was being untouched, probably just emptying his mag into his opposition. So yeah, very clean there. And we do get a bit of... it did feel personal a little bit there, yeah. So some wipes coming through, and Crutches getting there. Cash, Gangala up on top. Crutches not too far behind.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do like to see Gangala really get active. I think Gangala, they had a little bit of a rough patch, but they're really starting to lock in as a team. I think it was a little bit of Honeypack Demon feeling maybe a little bit aggressive, a little bit anxious because it's a tournament, but Lasky and Jurgen, they've definitely calmed him down. They definitely brought him back in line. We see Yoip looking so fine on that aim with the FAMAS. That being said, though, Gangala, they're all healed up. They're all on the quarter line here, but Jurgen goes down early. Honeypack gonna go right behind him as Crutches really fall in suit to take control of Chapel before they proc the vault.
Yeah, Gangala not up to the task there of taking down Crutches. Lasky's still up, and he has been the hero player so far, but I think a 1 versus 3 is a bit beyond him, and it is. There he is, taken out. As you can see, the wipe coming through on the top left of your screen. Crutches now in control of Vault 3, and they have the gateway set. They're going to actually get their choice. Where do they go here with this? There's always a question, what part of the map do you want to choose?
Zesties going crazy, but the sledgehammer, it can be dealt with a simple holding of the S key and left click at the same time. One of my favorite combos. And it looks like Vault 4 has been completely stolen here. Stioper gonna be pulling through, take it over to cash out C. This is going to be a fun one to watch, especially because this is one of the best points for Zesties to contend if they want to fight it.
Yeah, and Zesties right now, obviously wiped. They do most likely get the spawn on C. Let's have a look at D right now. It started, and we have Crutches defending by the, what do you call this? The Coliseum?
By the theater.
The arena?
Theater.
We do have a pause as Velo has disconnected, so in the middle of Honeypack Demon's DMAT and Gangala's execution on this point.
One thing I'll say.
Yeah.
These cash outs are really close to each other. It didn't
They
look
are.
like it when we were looking from the residential area, that's a Via building that the other cash out is in, and residential and theater are basically only separated by a few buildings. So where that cash out ends up really being a problem is if you're unable to hold on to one, or if you're unable to get in, you just say, hey, go to the other one real quick. And that means that either of these cash outs are most likely to get third party. Because if you're a team that's walking into a fight and you have two choices, the one that's not being fought or the one that is being fought, you're going to go in third party every single time.
Yeah.
And it's a double-edged sword, because it could also lead to a sense of false security where you're like, hey, we're the one that's not getting fought. And then suddenly two teams make the same decision. We're going to start over now, over at theater. Let's see what happens at Cash Out D.
Yep, Velo has returned. We're going to go straight in, and the Crutches will have had plenty of time to think about how to deal with this. And look how efficiently they dive on top. The defense really favored when given a moment to think about things. That wipe is almost inevitable now as we see, oh, who's that? Oh, I can't even make out his name. It's so faint on our screen. That is the Gungala light. It would have been Lasky. Unfortunate there. Really unfortunate, in fact. Yeah, given the timing of that disconnect. But, you know, you got to play what's in front of you. Crutches played that very smartly.
It do be what it do be being, as I always say.
You do say that a lot.
I do, actually, unironically. But check this out. Zesty's gonna finally try to dive in against Amers Blue. And remember, earlier in the day, Zesty's, they were feeling hot. Amers Blue ended at the bottom of Fortune Stadium. But now, Amers Blue, they're awake. They're ready to go. The nap kicked in. The Nero gum, the Adderall, it's all hidden. Let's see what's gonna happen now as Zesty's really tries to go for this approach. They're going over the right-hand side. They're going to push kind of through the alleyway between shopping district and residential. This is the first building of residentials. They're about to dive in here. And remember, for Zesties, having that sledgehammer, fighting close inside is going to be the best. But for Amers Blue, they already pulled this cash out all the way out to the street.
Oh, but they have a plan.
They're trying to pull it closer, but it's not going to get close enough. They still have time, though.
It's going to draw in Amers Blue, though. That is crucial because now Zesties can leverage that hammer. It's not close enough. You are right. It's still in the street. They're trying to play from indoors, but Noah X smartly not taking the bait, smartly not engaging. They are waiting for them to have to come to them. Zesties, they decide they have to start fighting now. They send in that gateway, but Noah X has the mobility to get away. In fact, takes up shop where the Zesties just were over in residential, and they'll be just fine here. They've wasted enough time. I feel as though the Zesties haven't got enough utility. They've wasted their domes. They've wasted everything. It's not going well for them on this map.
Unfortunately not, but I mean, for Amers Blue at least, it is nice to see them have a good return to form. I was feeling really worried after Fortune Stadium, but especially on Vegas when they got 40K in the bank, like, you just know that Amers Blue is going to go crazy. But for Crutches, this has been a fantastic map. This is looking a lot more of a return to form. I think it might have just been Vegas not being that hot of a map for them, but now they are set. They're at least second place with that amount of money.
Yep. All right, so Vault 5 is already on the move. 1 minute left, not including overtime. Of course, we might get a minute extension here. Yoip taken out, and the steal is successful on the Vault. Can they get the plug to follow it up? This is, of course, the orange team of Amers Blue moving towards A at speed, and this will give them a nice bit of control for the final run-in. Pink team of Crutches are the ones ahead at the moment, but they're nowhere to be seen.
Let's see. I'm very curious if Amers Blue is going to even be contested here.
Zesty's wiped again.
Oh, Zesty's. It's a tough map. It is a tough map.
Yeah. They've got to hope. Well, I don't know. The best they can hope for is third place, realistically. Unless they steal both somehow in the final moments. Not going to happen. So we'll keep an eye on both cash outs at the same time if we can. You know, that's what you've got to do in the finals. You've got to be able to look in two different directions at once. We're following right now Crutches as they look to protect their lead. Two teams are going to surpass them if they don't get a steal on at least one of these here.
Oh yeah, looking like for Amers Blue though, they're gonna have a tough time here because Crutches, they want this a really solid approach, and Amers Blue they're so far off the point they're not gonna be able to get in time. The steal, it's gonna happen, and they're just so confused. They thought they would have a good opportunity to find visibility on the run up, but they had no idea that this was coming. Now it is gonna be a little bit of a crazy fight here. Bronx trying to go wild, but with Yoip down, it is gonna be a little bit tougher for Crutches. Yoip gonna be able to coin back in 2 seconds, but for now, for Aimers Blue, they need to start the steal now. They're gonna be able to start it, but here's Best Rig, ready to dive in. Damage gonna come through, but that dome and barricades gonna allow Aimers Blue to have the breath they need to be able to hold that in. For Crutches now, up to 2. Yoip, he's back. He gets the defit. Bronx goes down. Yoip on low HP, but they do enough damage. It pulls Aimers Blue off of it, but not for long. That's going to be it. Aimers Blue, they're going to be able to hold on to this. That is first place for them. Second place for Gangala. And unfortunately for Crutches, just at the last moment, they're unable to hold it, and they get taken down to third.
Wow, that catch out changed hands so many times between Aimers Blue and Crutches. Crutches falling to third because of it. The Zesties losing their final fight on the opposite point. We didn't go to watch that. There was almost a sense of inevitability about that. I don't blame our observer. Really rough map for the Zesties. We thought that, you know, Bernal would be prime proving ground for that hammer, but it really isn't their day today.
Yeah, it was a little tough. I feel like as far as maps go, right? We said at the very beginning, there's a lot of opportunities for long range fights, a lot of opportunities for close range fights. But at the end of the day, the end of that loading screen in the lobby, it's going to depend on what most people are going for, where most of these fights are gonna carry out. And for Aimers Blue, they kind of pushed that long range in a way that really helped out. And it got scary at the end, I can't lie, when Crutches got the steal. But Aimers Blue, they locked in, they played the slow game, and slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah, Bronx with the most kills, 10 and 5, but you look at his opposite number on the side of Aimers Blue, Godmeneta, 9 and 3. Staying alive a little bit more often sometimes makes a bit more of a difference. But once again, Bronx taking the top frag in that game. Crutches have not won a game, have not lost a game in this series so far. Second place, third place, and third place. But Aimers Blue are the team that are really coming out on top here with 2 top place finishes in a row, and that's reflected in these standings right now. You can see them sailing above the competition in points. I don't know what our final map's gonna be, Ardy. We'll get the word in our ear just in a moment. Cis Horizon.
Cis Horizon. Oh, this is gonna be honestly the best case scenario for Aimers Blue. I mean, Cis Horizon is the map that NoahX has always been consistently super good at, and so very excited for that. Gangala as well. I feel like for them and Zesties, this could be a match where Zesties really comes to form. I'm hoping that Zesties manages to get the frags they need, get established on that first cash out, so they're not as nervous fighting on the next ones. But yeah, it's all gonna kind of break down to which cash outs we get, because especially for Zesties, we know that if Velo decides to go for Sledge, it's gonna be very dependent on which cash out spawns they get that they're going to be able to do well with. But I don't think he's 6 for Sledge on this map. There's no way, right?
It's less likely for certain. We have seen a Sledge come out on this map in EU, and it wasn't the most successful. I can't quite recall who it was, but it wasn't Velo that took it. So we'll get to see as he spawns in. We'll get a look around at the teams. But for the time being, all we need to know is we've got Cis Horizon right in front of us. And yeah, can Aimers Blue extend their lead at the very top of the leaderboard right now?
We'll see. Looks like Vault 1 going to be spawning over at campus, and Cash Out A is going to be the one all the way over by the fountain side. Oh, no. This is not a great start there for Honey Pack Demon and the rest of Gangala here. Lasky, goes down to hail the gunfire. That's going to be Gangala facing the same fate that Aimers Blue did so many maps ago.
Yeah, but it's Aimers Blue dealing it to them this time. So well set, the orange side, to defend that vault immediately, and they're going to have a nice bit of pace ahead of their opposition because of that. The Zesties already taking some hits as one goes down. Airshoot trying to fire, but that dome shield affording a bit of protection to Yoip. Not enough, though, as he goes down as well, and the Crutches as swiftly dealt with when it came to that engagement as we saw Gangala being on the far side. So the Zesties and Aimers Blue stamping their authority on Cis Horizon so far.
Absolutely beautiful. You love to see it. Over here to the side, see what happens as they take the cash out all the way across into the campus sideline. I love this fountain. It is so difficult to hold on to. And for Zesties, they thought that they would have a really great opportunity here, but Gangala, they were laying in wait. They know that if they get first plug, it's going to be a lot easier for them. But
Very
Zesties, they're not out yet. Velo is not running he's not running the sledgehammer. It's going to be a Lewis gun here. That is a good opportunity.
Yeah, particularly on this point, you want to be playing it. But Gungala really reading the field there very well. Looks like Velo's days are numbered. He drops down. Does have decent movement to escape as we see a DMAC fly past him. He's just deciding it's not enough. Yeah. It's not worth it. They need to get back in the fight sooner rather than later. So he commits honorable Sudoku.
Well, over to cash out B. Amers Blue looks like they're holding steadfast. Now, over in the workspace, this is going to be one of the easiest ones to hold. Like I said, you can pull it out to the sideline. Oh, Yoip does tons of damage on the way down to what the fuck. That's going to force him to kind of pull out to the side there. Gobinetta still looking for the side. Still looking for the opportunity to deal a little bit of extra damage there. What the fuck gets instantly res here. Beautiful stuff by Noah X, but Noah X is going to go down. It's just up to Gobinetta to try to feel out the last damage. Takes out one, takes out the heavy. It's just a light player now left on crutches. 1v1 situation here. Bronx, Gobinetta. Two absolute demons on the battlefield here. Oh, Gobinetta takes the res on a Noah X. Bronx, though, he's good for a 1v2. Noah X gets up. He's going to try to go for the res there on the heavy. Looks like Bronx now. He has done his best to deal with it. The SH-1900, it's a good gun for this engagement. But he has to be so careful about timing these fights.
The coin is coming in from Yoip as well, so this is a full 3 versus 3, it seems, once again. Or is it? I don't, in fact, think that Orange Team have got all of their players up just yet, and the pinch is available if they can get this maneuver going. Great little gateway surrounding the whole of Amers Blue here, and they get the kills they need. Bronx and the rest of Crutches find them. But it's a bit too late to get the steal.
Yeah. Gobinetta did end up having to coin back in, but at the very least, it's just good for his team that they were able to kind of get that timing. Cash out A still in control by Gungala here. Zesties unable to come back in time, unfortunately. They're just not able to hold on to it here. Looks like, once again, it's Velo. He's pulling the cash out to be in a situation where they can fight for it, but it still takes them too long to get into that setup. And I think they're relying too much on that initial setup to try and get into a place where they can fight for that. Maybe that works in ranked. Maybe that works in World Tour, but that won't work in a tournament when you're up against teams that are at the top of the top of the top.
Good 1v1 there, at least from Lasky, to give his team a little bit of confidence moving forward. It really was, yeah, Gungala playing very, very smartly to go for that point in the first place when they knew the spawns would be favoring them. Here comes a bit of a battle between Amers Blue now and Crutches. Amers Blue really stamping down. They are not happy with Crutches' attempt at stealing that last point, even if they did get the money at the end of it. And it looks like they are continuing to win in the battles that make the most impact in the game. They now have cash in their hands, ready to deposit in D. They're ready to defend.
If there's one thing I love about Amers Blue is they know when a vault fight is winnable and when they don't need to work about it. Like, I love that. We see Gungala now just trying to stay alive here as Zesties come to pinch them. Zesties out here with a vengeance. They're going to be taking cash out C, trying to make sure they can find the space, but both of these are in library. Both of these cash outs are in library. This is a very similar situation to the last one where it could get really dicey if either of these cash outs get jumped on. Even Amers Blue could come in and start to really fight up on cash out C here.
Oh, that gas doesn't look like it's going to cause any problem for the potential steal here, so Yoip's going to get straight on it. Two teams around him, out comes the shield, and that will be enough to secure it. Now the question is, can they get set? Can they recover? Great jump pad in pocket to give themselves the high ground. This is a building that really benefits from having that vertical mobility. Yoip chasing down his target. That's a heavy on the other side of it. He's surely a goner.
So
Jürgen is just, yeah, there we go. Finally, he's taken out that goo. Almost a tombstone, it felt like, for him.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the dream. I saw the fight. It looks like Yoip is they're just sort of ready and waiting for the next opportunity to come in. But for Zesties, they're already diving on Amers Blue. They know that they need to get ahead now. This is the most critical moment for them, is to win this cash out specifically. They're starting off strong, just a singular what the fuck left and ready, but no, Gobinetta, he's gotten the res here. Noah X is up. What the fuck? Noah X are both on really low HP, but so is Gobinetta. What's gonna happen now? Zesties, are they gonna be able to find the shots? We know Amers Blue knows how to run away. Velo gonna go out here as Gobinetta finds the focus, and Zesties, they go out so unfortunate. It was so winnable for so long, but unable to finish those fights fast enough. And that's what I love about Aimers Blue. They know how to get in and get out. We look over to Crutches. Their cash out being stolen by Gangala, but Gangala, they can't stick it through here. Not gonna be able to get it. And here's Aimers Blue. They're confident. They're coming into third party. They're griefing. It's grief time.
Hello, Gominetta wants more kills to his name, and he's going to get it. Starts off with Bronx, and he's going to go after the next one. Nope, decides it's time to try.
On the gas.
He
see the
stood
barrel.
on the gas barrel. It's taken him out, but at least the rest of his team can try and go for this. The barricade is up, the dome is there. What the fuck, though, is being met with some resistance. The gunfire from above. We can't see him, but we know someone's there. Oh, yeah, Yoip and Bronx ready to defend it. They are so well set. Noah X, the last alive on Aimers Blue. It's fine. This was just a bit of a bonus aim for them. They already have their cash out. Noah X will play safe here to try and get the coins back in, and we'll enter the final wave with Aimers Blue already ahead in the cash tally.
It is kind of unfortunate timing for Aimers Blue, though, because even though they're at 32K, they are still not guaranteed for first place. If they got plug money, though, the 4K that you would get would be enough. That being said, they will still have time to get back in the fight early enough that maybe they'll be able to fight out. Now, Cash Out B all the way down here on campus. Cash Out A is going to be over to the sideline on Museum. Now, this is possible to pull out to the middle or even pull out to the bridge here. And when it comes to the Museum fights, this is where you either get to fight for openness if you can pull it all the way out, or for verticality if you pull it in towards the center of the building. And for Zesties, they love their setup. This is the possibility for them to come in third party at just the right time. But looks like it's Aimers Blue that's set up early enough. They're going to be able to get the steal in. And even though they didn't get that plug money, I think they have enough.
Zesties are going to struggle here. They need a steal and maybe some kills to secure themselves anything besides last place as these final catch-outs are split. Down goes a player on Aimers Blue. Fighting from range are Gangala. They are actually defending B, but they want to cause some problems for Aimers Blue. They know that Aimers Blue would like to take a good bite out of them at the opportune moments. Gangala, in fact, going for the steal on A.
No, they know that this is more important. They needed the plug money and they need the steal. Oh, he gets the steal before it's yoinked out. He gets the steal. Wait. No, they just wanted the steal money. Yeah, they're just trolling. Whoa! Wait! Jurgen! I am sorry, Jurgen. I was unfamiliar with your game, but now they have to worry about their own stuff as Crutches. They're gonna hop over to campus. They're gonna try to get this fight over here. Aimers Blue, they say, hey, we're gonna go on campus now too. They let the Zesties get the steal because they know Zesties can't compete. We look over now at Gangala. They're just getting these shots out for Crutches, but it does seem that Gangala is going to remain in control of Cash Out B. This is wild.
Unbelievable. Zesties, that final cash out means nothing to them. Of course, they need to pair it with something else. Crutches have been wiped, so Aimers Blue really have the spoiler potential here to take down a peg or two Gangala if they get it through. They go for the steal. In comes the dome, but it's being winched. It's being moved all over the shot. They can't get a good enough handle on it. There's the fire as well. Out comes the goo. Out comes the barricade. It looks as though Gangala are taking beating from Zesties up above, who are doing the defense of Aimers Blue for them. Aimers Blue get the steal, and it's so tight in those second, third, and fourth places with 17 seconds left. Who's going to get the kills necessary to claim the points for themselves? That is what's on my mind, Ardy. The steal's coming back. It's not successful.
No, it's not happening.
Cash Out A is not successful on the steal. It is. Who's going to come
Aimers
third?
Blue holds.
Look how tight it is.
Oh! Zesties with one kill.
Oh my
God! But Gangala! One kill put Gangala up in second place.
Wow. Unbelievable. 500 points separating second from third, and 500 points separating third from fourth. That is one kill each way.
Absolutely wild way to finish out Group A. It was so close, but Aimers Blue, they locked it in. They had a rough start, but they are now doing absolutely phenomenally to be able to hold up. And Noah X, 14 kills. He took that personally.
Wow, yeah.
But 28K, 27.5, 27. What?
That Lasky's the difference, right? That's the Lasky diff, right? 9 kills to his name. And look at the kills of the teams beneath him. Yeah, you know, Bronx stepping up close. He has done all day long. Unbelievable that a player like Bronx, and with this performance he's had across the day, that they lose this final map. It didn't even seem possible when Zesties was so far behind at one point.
I just can't believe that Gangala had the nerve to run over and steal the other cash out that was in art gallery. And then when he pulled it into the middle on museum, or no, it was What the Fa who winch clawed the cash out from museum onto the bridge, and then Jurgen RPG'd it down. I'll never forget that. But I think it was because of those steals, right? If Gangala never got those steals, they wouldn't have had the cash that close. And so really stealing the cash out just to get that extra 1K brought them up to make the difference. And this is wild. Look at these final standings. Amers Blue finishes up 933 points. Gangala not very far behind them at 885. We see Crutches at 773 and Zesties, again, not far behind at 756. This is looking really tight. Add in the final points here. Amers Blue over the 1,000 mark. Absolutely incredible.
First team to do so. And yeah, we got to give a credit to Amers Blue. They're winning the final 3 matches. They came third on Fortune Stadium, first place finish everywhere else. Vegas, Bernal, Sis Horizon, all theirs. That last game wasn't even a question of whether they'd win it or not. It was just about who came second. So yeah, they really put a stamp down on not just the group that they're in today, but also the entire league table. They are really showing up. And this is a relatively newly formed team. Let's remind people, Noah X, What the Fa, and God Moneta really gelling. God Moneta looks like, I mean, I hadn't heard of this guy until the start of Pro Hubs, but he's really making a name for himself. What a talented light player he is.
1,000%. I'm really happy to see this. Not only that, but like Crutches and Zesties, I love that they're still trading blows with one another. I mean, again, we started the day and, Crutches and Zesties, They've been going up and down just a little bit, but again, towards the end there, it felt like Zesties might not have necessarily been in the best of shapes, but not done, not out just yet, because we still have another day here for Split 1. But this was the end for Group A, but we still got 2 more groups. That's right, 8 more games in the finals coming up here. So, Jerry, let's talk about it for a little bit. I think that this could not have been a better way to start off with a group this close.
Oh yeah, and this was, looking at the sort of rankings before the day started, the highest quality group, right? We had some really heavy hitters here. The fact that Zesties came in as 5th seed going into today and looked like the weakest group, or the weakest team in that group, says something about the quality of gameplay that we've just witnessed. I'm not saying it's going to go downhill from here, Ali. That's not what I'm talking about. But
no, sirree.
Certainly looking at the next group, we've got some slightly lower seeds. My question is whether NTHX, as they appear on your screens right now, this is the logos have just appeared for the next group, Group B. Amers Red, Burnt Nuggets, Gamblers, and NTHX. NTHX stand out as the team that have struggled to get a foothold, while Amers Red in 4th place before the day started. I'm looking to see Atelco, Perzon, and Ferios impress me once again.
I mean, hey, if they can get 3 first-place wins here for Amers Red, that is going to secure them very tightly up in that first-place position. I just know it, especially just given the fact that we can kind of get Amers Red, like, we know they're a top 3 team. We know for a fact they are. It's not a question. But for NTHX, this team has the most passion that I have seen from a team. And I think that NTHX, they want to be the ones to represent France a little bit more than a telco. And it feels very personal to see them in the same group. And I do love to see the French supremacy of the finals come through every single time we watch these EU groups.
Yeah, this is the first time we're going to get to see these 2 groups in action against each other. So yeah, it's a very heated one for certain. Gamblers and Burnt Nuggets, of course, they're not just passengers. They're going to have something to say as well. But we will take a short break just to get things set up, rest our voices for a little bit, because we've got another whole hour of cash-out action to bring to your screens, to your eyeballs, to your ears. Don't go too far, everybody. We'll be back shortly.
It's showtime!
The stars. Distant. Watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in, the sports beverage designed for champions. With a Spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Spooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Spooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Spooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
That strange thought you just had.
Hello, guys and gals. Oh, sorry, Jerry. I realized we didn't talk about that.
That's true. We always just a peek behind the curtain, before every single break or after every single break. We're always like, oh yeah, you take this lead, or no, I'll take this lead. We just didn't. We were like just chatting.
I was too busy drinking my Osbooze Pro Juice. I am ready to pop, pour, perform, but not only that, I'm ready to see all of our players pop, pour, and perform here. As a big reminder, the maps that we're going to be seeing today are the likes of Fortune Stadium. Then we're moving over to Las Vegas, where hopefully we see gamblers be very, very good. Then, of course, we've got Bernal coming up after that, and then Sis Horizon. Those are the 4 maps for today in rotation, and I think that for Aimers Red, I think they're going to be feeling very good about Fortune Stadium.
Yeah, this is a very interesting set of teams. We're not going to be guaranteeing those sets of maps. I would love to see another Vegas, though. Because,
I apologize.
Yeah, the way it works, in case anyone's sort of wondering, is the winner of each map picks the next one. So you do have this kind of momentum that you want to build, for certain. But, you mentioned Vegas. Gamblers have not come 3rd or 4th in any Vegas. They've only ever won it or come 2nd in Pro Hubs. Now, it's only happened twice, so small sample size. But if you were willing to bet, like I say, you know, if you're a gambling man on Vegas, bet on the Gamblers.
Absolutely. And I'm betting on Fortune Stadium here. We get ready to check these teams out. Look at that lobby, absolutely overflowing with talent.
Yeah. I know we use the word talent often to refer to ourselves, the casters. Couldn't be further from the truth. These guys are the real talented ones. The ones on your screen right now, they're the heroes. We're here to just shout about them. So yeah, love to see it. Let's get some action on our screens right now. Burnt Nuggets in orange, Gamblers in pink, Aimers Red in red. We love that. That is my favourite thing that has happened right here in this lobby. NTHX in purple. So as Rio would say, pick your favourite colour, cheer for your favourite team, sound off in chat. Here we go. Oh, Norton taking a red canister to the face there, so he'll dip into cover for a moment, hide his head. The rest of the team of the Gamblers being peppered with bullets as the Burnt Nuggets look to close that distance.
Yeah, Sector 2 can always be a little bit crazy just because there's so few areas to take cover when you're moving around there with a purpose. But we see Burnt Nuggets ready to take Vault 2 over to Cash Out A. This is going to be a very fine setup for them here. As long as they get there a little early, we look to see 3 teams fighting over the other side of the map there. Cash Out B gets plugged here. It's Aimers Red in charge.
Person trying to find someone on the end of that winch. Oh no, it's the totem. Very smart. Forgot that you could do that. I rarely ever play winch heavy, so I always forget
winch
that you can do that.
Winch is meta. Winch is so good.
I know it's. I don't play meta. I play off meta. So this is why I never. This is my excuse. That way, if I play bad, I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I'm using the dual blades. You know.
Aimers doesn't even care that NTHX got that steal. NTHX, they're going to be playing underneath here. It is going to be a battle of the D-mats. Theros going to go wild right now. Nolik's going to get taken away really early, but nothing a quick defib can't deal with there. Is Polly going to try and come back up, but there goes Pepe. There goes Polly. That's going to be NTHX. Getting removed from the lobby as Aimers Red able to steal that back, which was rightfully theirs. We check out over at the Isolt building. We can see Burnt Nuggets. They're set up to the sideline. They hear all the footsteps from Gamblers. They got to take a gamble whether or not they want to hold it from above or below.
Looks like the latter option is their choice. They don't have their DMAT medium in play at present, though, so bringing it down might be a little bit hard. They probably preset a C4, I'd imagine. Folin hunkered down behind this barricade. They've got a red barrel, but they decide to evacuate. They're not happy with that current setup. In spawns Kireki, their resident medium. The steal hasn't happened yet. We haven't even had a bait.
No, but he's ready. There it is. The DMAT down into the APS to make sure that you clear all the mines. Beautiful strategies here. Gonna close that right up. Now it's a good time for the steal here as Burnt Nuggets realize it has been taken away from them. Nagiti looking for the fight there as DW goes for a little bit of damage on the sideline there. Drop it down to be with the rest of his team. Gateway in place. Seal still not performed yet by Gamblers, but Burnt Nuggets, they're holding on tight.
Oh, no.
Look at that dome placement. Oh, but the damage is so big on the Fallen. But look at that, Nagiti, he's gonna get taken away here as Kireki goes down as well. Fallen, 80 HP and a dream. Burnt Nuggets gonna still be in control here. Looks like there's no time to get that steal finished out as Burnt Nuggets are gonna be guaranteed there. A little bit of cash, but the fight will still happen for Gamblers. They're gonna take him out no matter what. The cash out goes in for Burnt Nuggets and Gamblers off the map.
Yeah, not giving NCHX the satisfaction as they came into third party, purely for kills it would seem, and they didn't really do too good a job of it. Only 3 kills to their name. Those are likely the ones they gathered during their initial battle to plug that first vault. So not working out too well for them. Unfortunately, a little bit late to the party, it seems. And yeah, at least it means that they get full control over Vault 4. They'll probably take this over to cash out C. Very nice building to defend. In the meantime, we see Aimers Red getting deplugged. They're sure to come into contention with Burnt Nuggets pretty soon.
Yeah, Aimers Red, like I said, for Fortune Stadium, they look so good. I love to see Atelco just in his element, just getting ready to absolutely aim, especially with that FAMAS. Oh, he's got the new skin as well, the animated skin. It's so beautiful. But look at these shots.
You've got to imagine Palmer's going to take this out of reach, and they have done exactly that. This forces the FAMAS down off of the roof, and in fact, he can't really get into position properly. He's meeting some opposition from the other building, but there's a great DMAT to try and fish people out. Oh, but some fire taken onto him. I don't even know. Was that a pyro grenade? I have no idea. You rarely see those, but Aimers Red now suffering in the life department when it comes to kills, but Person is the one to come out on top with those final shots with the shotgun, just about doing it. Look at that, 6 kills already for the heavy on Aimers Red.
Oh, but we look over to cash out C to see Gamblers in control, but now Gamblers, they're over here to grief.
Oh.
Gamblers are gambling on the fact that they're not going to be contested by NTHX. They're going to be able to come in control of that original cash out C for absolutely no reason whatsoever. We see now as Fallen just continues to deal damage, they're going to try to take out the rest of Aimers Red. They know that they want to take out the cash from the first place here.
No.
But as Kireki just tries to steal, he gets shot in the butt just a little bit here. Atelco up on top, about to deal some damage from the top ropes of Fallen. He's holding on tight. A little bit of a wall removal here will mean the Aimers Red is going to be able to collapse right on top of the steal. Happens! Gamblers, they're in control, but they don't have a lot of health. Fallen, 17 HP. He's going to get taken away. Kireki right after him. Atelco super low, but DW, he's going to take out one as well. It's looking crazy for Aimers Red, but Atelco can take out Person. The only Aimers Red still up. He's going to try to go for the steal here. Is there anybody from Gamblers who could stop him? Oh, yes.
Got to be DW. He comes on in hot, and oh my goodness, the Gamblers. You said they were in control. I think that was a bit of a stretch. That was chaotic, but they just about did it. They went all in on that steal. They owned C, and they came to D, and they just about saw it through. NTHX read the game very well. Went for a free steal on C, and now they're sitting, what, in first place? With barely having to take a fight. Wow. I've got to give you a rest there, Roddy.
No,
there was so much action. There was so much action. I don't blame you for taking a breather.
Can't believe the Gamblers. They really just figured out, you know, it doesn't matter if Burnt Nugget steals it because we need to make sure Aimers Red doesn't get it. And that is the little bit of metagaming, the little bit of thinking about the cash that you only see up at this top level of the finals. Right now, look at Aimers Red. They are so locked in. Love the beautiful Enjimo skin here that we're going to be seeing on the ARN 220 from Pharos. He's making this ARN look so good. especially the mid-season buff that we got to it as well. Palma just beamed out of the sky.
Yeah, those jump pads are a death sentence, and he finds out for himself as well. It's so easy to track them at this level. Some great kills coming through, though, as his team defend this cash out, this vault, rather. We see the last of Gamblers retreating. In comes ATHX with their own vault. And in fact, they're going to win the foot race to B. Unbelievable, that. And 5 is right up close. Seems as though everyone's going to be over here. Looks like Aimers Red, they know that this is going to be too hot to handle if they stick around. They're going to make use of the fact that the battlefield is almost entirely cleared out and go for a straight shot at A instead.
Oh, wow. We see A get really ready to get fought in right now as Burnt Nuggets and Aimers Red both collapse in. It's going to be Aimers Red to get the plug, but the damage on the person is too much. Burnt Nuggets going to start off with a one-man advantage right now. They see a Telco, and they're going to trade in and chase him. But Aimers Red, they still have the light up here. As that seal comes through, shot in the butt yet again. The Aimers Red special as Pharos just tries to deal that damage from afar, but the dome will come in. That's going to be Norton trying to chase to find out where that damage is coming from. As Telco in person, coin back in. We're looking at Aimers Red, trying to figure out the correct approach. Over to the other side, though, NTHX is in control of the cash out as Gamblers trying to make their way in.
Sending
off the
in
gateway.
the light. Fantastic. That's a way to avoid being shot at in midair. And now they're dematting their way round the back. They found a good route here to take on NTHX. It is going to be a pair of clean 3v3s to close out this map. Out comes the jump pad. They wall in through the staircase, but NTHX are so ready for it. Out comes the damage. Folin taking a heap load of it, and he's down for the count, but they are taking returning fire as well. The defib comes through onto the heavy. Can he retreat in time? No, he can't, unfortunately. That is some great kills coming through as Aimers Red look like they've taken control. It's only... Is that Ploppy? Is that Pepe, I think, on NTHX, trying to demat it, buy his team some time, but the steal is going to go through successfully. Aimers Red in control of it for the final 40 seconds.
Oh, but the gas is dropping on. It's looking a little bit crazy right now, but there's Ploppy. He's going to get taken away. Oh, so is the rest of NTHX. Just their light remaining here, and there's no way that Aimers Red loses control of this one. As Burnt Nuggets as well going to be able to secure in. Nolix, he's looking for the opportunity to deal some damage, but
oh no,
Aimers Red, they know that that's not getting stolen. They run away immediately. Trying to at least get a little bit more kills in.
That's a bit of a misstep by Noli as well, because he knows that he has to be going for A here. It's made it very difficult for his team to survive and coin in. He is making it. It's going to be too late for them. The question really is whether Burnt Nuggets can defend this and keep hold of second place. The steal is coming through from Gamblers, but the defense is there from the light on Burnt Nuggets. Hero play from Norton. The steal is not possible any longer. Burnt Nuggets secure their second place spot. Aimers Red take fortune.
Wow, that was amazing. So Gamblers was trying to hold on, and Aimers knew that it's better for Burnt Nuggets to hold on to it than Gamblers. So Aimers Red jumped in. The Telco took that personally here, and a very beautiful stab to begin the day. Like I said, Aimers Red, they look good on this map. A Telco especially just absolutely locked in at any given chance.
They look good, period, Artie. You know, there's no qualifier needed. This is a strong team. Quite often when we see, you know, the top frag person with 9 kills, you expect that on the light player, but no, Ferios close behind on 7, Etelco on 6. This is a high fragging game compared to our previous group from Aimers Red specifically. And the next team down in terms of frags is actually Gamblers in pink, but, you know, falling short. So yeah, second place to Burnt Nuggets, respectable, 13 kills. No one necessarily standing out there. A lot of deaths as well. NTHX almost played a blinder that game. I have to say, they played the objective very smartly, moving around the map, but I think they just had to win a few more fights, honestly.
Yeah, it was a setup where I feel like for NTHX, they had the right pacing, but they had kind of the wrong approach to each engagement. And I think that NTHX, again, like they're so used to the ranked meta, they're so used to how it works out in ranked, but I think it's just that scrim experience from Aimers Red that they kind of know how this all works. They know the pacing, and remember that scrims usually end up just being 3v3s, right? So the fact that this tournament is going to be the full 4 teams going at it, it's a new thing for a lot of teams that come in here to play in a tournament with 4 teams. Next up is going to be Skyway Stadium, another absolute banger for Aimers Red.
One of my favourite maps, quite honestly. And I say that, you know, having just seen Fortune Stadium, we are really in for a treat here. Skyway Stadium, a hell of a lot of fun as well. Amos Red obviously having the choice of this. You expect them to do quite well here, but everyone will know how to play a good Skyway, Artie.
Oh yeah, Skyway's been out there since the beginning, and Skyway Stadium has a lot of really fun opportunities for different play styles. I mean, I think Market, I think Estate, especially Estate, sponsored by Volpe, one of my favorite parts of any map. And Construction as well, super underrated, but the construction site on this map is so much fun because I love playing on cranes, personally. It's so good.
Yeah. Now, I just want to take a moment to look at the kind of weapon lineup that we're seeing. In EU, we're certainly more favoured towards those ARs. You see a lot of the ARN on the light. You see a lot of Scar, FAMAS, well, maybe more FAMAS than Scar on the mediums. And even Lewis guns been coming out a fair amount for the heavies. This is very different.
Of Lewis guns.
It's very different to NA. You got a lot of shotguns still.
Yeah, because I think the thing about the Lewis gun is that, yeah, it's got a strong recoil pattern, but if you can control it, it is so worth it. And the quick reloads on it, especially compared to the M60, it makes that lower magazine size worth it. But we're going to see Person pull out the SA-1216 here, which I love to see on Skyway. And it is going to be Burnt Nuggets for Zamers over here on Vault 2 to see over by the business office who will come and control first.
I like that aggressive dome. Oh, no, sorry, defensive dome there. I thought it was thrown at the opposition heavy. Good shots being taken there by Person. It looks like he manages to wipe out the light. It's only Nagiri and Palmer on the top floor. Now it's devolved into a 1 versus 1, but both players have the opportunity to get up their teammates. I say that. Looks like Person hasn't actually, and now he's in a 1 versus 2. Nagiri underneath him drops into him, but wins the 1v1. And now it's a heavy versus heavy. You rarely see to sort of decide a 3 versus 3. Palmer stuck now behind the smartly placed barricade. Very clutch there.
I love the barricades. Oh, Palma, he misclicks. He hits a zip instead of the res here. Just a couple seconds, but it's all right. We'll check in on NTHX and Gamblers now. Vault
Person
1
still doesn't have a
being
res.
held up. Yeah, Person is kind of going crazy right now. So for now, NTHX is set up on a state sponsored by Volpe, and Gamblers, they're about to dive in here. They're going to be meeting the end of a few different barrels there as Kireki goes down really early on. Vault 1 finally in control by NTHX. They're going to try to move that over towards the market district to get it closer and closer into the cash out. But for them, the end goal here is going to be actually walking away with an entire cash out at the beginning. We also see it does look like Aimers, they're going to have to take this over to open office.
Yeah, this is still a fight over the vault. This is the first fight that we were watching. It didn't finish. Amos Red finally wiped out there, as you mentioned. But Burnt Nuggets, yeah, they're going to be a little bit behind the pace as they get on over to office. And NTHX have theirs in residential very comfortably. It looks like it's still going to be a 3 versus 3. Oh, Gamblers have managed to land right on top of B. We're going to have an early fight here. They might not even get the plug. It gets dropped. He does manage to place it, though. And that could have been nightmarish there for Burnt Nuggets, but they do get the plug. The question is now, can they survive this? In fact, they do. Gamblers wiped out Norton, doing absolute bits. He had no right surviving that. He gets the plug and the wipe. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Jerry, I was not expecting them to actually survive that. I thought that getting the plug, especially like we saw the heavy kind of fumble a bit, I thought that the plug was going to be it for them, but no, they held it through. NTHX, they're holding in from the high ground here, but this is, again, sort of the issue. NTHX, they love their setups, but, I mean, Aimers Red, they're just going to winch it inside. Now, Person, he has control. He's going to be able to hold that seal right now, but no, he can't. Over to the sideline. Paulip comes over, does a little bit of damage over with that DMAT as well. We're going to be seeing Person getting taken out really quickly. Atelco trying to refrag, do some damage up the side here, and Atelco goes down. Person back up, though. There we go. We lose the light. NTHX, they're looking solid right now as Person. He reloads the SA-1216. Dome shield out as he pushes in, making sure he can get the fight before they regen, but they're not going to be able to do so. NTHX, they're going to win the first fight on Cash Out A.
Getting the better of Amos Red. I don't think we've seen that today, in fact, from NTHX. Typically, over the past few maps, or over the past map at least, that we saw in Fortune, they were struggling to get the frags together. Taking down Amos Red, that's got to boost their confidence. You've got to imagine the comms are flowing now. They are going to have to fend off Gamblers as well, as they are taking a lot of heat. It seems as though NTHX are being seen as maybe the easier target in this situation, but they are making their presence known. They're winning these fights so far. Noli does go down. Folin now last alive on his team. Gamblers taking a beating, and they are wiped again. NTHX dispatching with the second team that have come their way and get the cash out. A very convincing lead now they have established.
Do not underestimate NTHX. There you have it. Every single team that just went their way has fallen victim. Seeing Aimers Red getting dealt with here by Burnt Nuggets.
Wow.
Burnt Nuggets from the back, giving Pharaohs the old Aimers Red special there of his own as Nagiti jumps through to the side there, finds a Telco. Gonna find a little D-Mat here as well. This is fun.
He's almost making it work. He's getting a bit frisky with it. Nice engagement. Nagiri basically said, you know what? No, we're going straight for them. They are not getting an opportunity to set themselves up. Great shots coming out. Great initiative taken. And some really neat DMAT play there. I loved it. Dropping down the light to his level, forcing him to vault up, taking a little more damage. By the time they got him around, you know, by the time the Aimers Red had realized what was even happening, the whole of that team are on top of them. So great little engage from Norton and the rest of Burnt Nuggets. They will happily take 3 now back over to
business
like an
office.
elevator possibly in office.
It could be the elevator. It could be the balcony area as well. We see Cash Out D over on construction. That's gonna get portaled over real quick by Gamblers. They're gonna get dove on by NTHX and Aimers Red. This is gonna be a wild one to watch, especially as Gamblers start off in control. But look at the damage. It's gonna be Aimers Red that start off really strong with the damage here, forcing Koreki out right into NTHX. Here's NTHX come over to the sidelines there. They need to capitalize on this third-party timing as best as possible. Person says, absolutely not. Get me out of here. We see Gamblers, the last light player, DW. He's going to pull over to the sidelines, try to at least wait up for the team to res here. But NTHX, they're coming in control of the construction cache.
Yeah, no way DW tries to contest that steal. It is definitely the right play to wait for his team to coin back in, go for the 3 versus 3. That will be happening very shortly. And we'll keep our eyes on D as this is the first cash out to be confirmed. And of course, it will be the first one to go through as well. NTHX just a little bit behind on the kills compared to Burnt Nuggets, so they might sit in second after this, but out comes the barricade of great little head glitch angle up against the DMAP, but they are going to have to move as that gas is forcing them out. They've built a bit of a fortress here. They have a route out and exit up the crane. They're going to Batman their way to the top and re-engage above. Down comes the dome shield in just a moment. Come on, stop teasing me. There it goes. Out comes Shelly. Down goes Kiriki. Huge kills, and another one should be confirmed here onto the heavy. They lose their own, but now it's only a 2 versus 1. He doesn't have a defib. This is only a light. They're up against DW. Surely his days are numbered. He gets chased down by, I believe that's Ploppy. And a great take by NTHX. And they defend their bounty admirably.
Oh, Aimers Red, they're going to get beamed over to the sideline here. They're trying to contest the business office fight here, but unfortunately, Burnt Nuggets, they're set up so strong at the top. I mean, we saw Norton there gargoyling with the ARN, and it works out so well for them to get that early damage on Aimers Red that they can then capitalize on by diving down to the bottom. They're in control cash out C, but Gamblers have just respawned in open office. They're going to be close by to start the contest here on C. They possibly get ready to go over, unless
so lazy.
they just decide... Yeah, I hear them up on the rooftop. They're here. They're ready to fight. I don't know if they've got a lot of time, though. They have to initiate the steal immediately. But Burnt Nuggets, they're absolutely going to play for the drop here as Nagiti drops it in. But, yeah, there's no way this steal happens.
Too well set, too much gas in play as well, and that is already past the point of no return. So Gamblers purely playing for frags here to try and wipe their opposition, and they haven't done a great job of that either. Folin, last alive, he boxes himself in with the... barricade is just saying, yeah, I won't give you the kill. That's that was ever so slightly embarrassing for Gamblers, I've got to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. We check out now to see NTHX really looking great here. I mean, look at Aimers Red. They haven't gotten a cash out. 4K in the bank because of a proc. This is not looking great for them. It's not their best map like I had originally envisioned.
Oh, no.
This was their pick.
The Telco getting trolled there by today's soup of the day on that sandwich board there. I wonder what it said. I wonder what the soup of the day in Skyway Stadium is,
Well,
Harvey.
he was trying to get the super bounce, the super jump, but it just wasn't going to happen.
His name made Mario, you know? Only Super Mario can do that.
Alrighty, and it's Burnt Nuggets who go over to the estate, sponsored by Volpe. They're going to be in control of the cash out that's up in the attic. Next cash out all the way over at one of the offices, and that is going to be a long way to carry Vault 6. Currently, it's Gamblers in control of said vault. There's a big chance that we see a double here. For Gamblers, they could decide right now in this moment as they get through the alleyway. NTHX, they're hot on the tail. NTHX, they do not want this to be doubled. Gamblers, they might want it. Gonna go to open. They go to open. It's cut off by Aimers Red, who is envisioning this.
Oh, such a good prediction, playing the map so well. Kiriki now in a bit of a tight spot. He's going to head back the way he came. He's vulnerable during this jump, but he does get back into cover. He's just
but
moving it
NTHX
around.
are chasing him.
Oh no, his days are numbered, Artie.
NTHX, they know that the only fight that's worth it is the vault. They're going to throw it away. They're playing for second. They know that if they could just control the vault, it doesn't need to be plugged at all, and they're guaranteed second place. Those points are worth more than anything right now. They'll just let Burnt Nuggets take the blame, take their cash out over at a state sponsored by Volpe, and see Gamblers and Aimers Red head over there to fight. Gamblers still not making their way over to the estate just yet.
Only 30 seconds.
I wonder why. Yeah,
We've got to
why
take
they're
a
not
look at that
out of
final
state
vault.
yet.
We've got to take a look at the final point, right? Obviously, this is a horrible situation for both the teams in third and fourth. But, you know, there is a points difference between third and fourth, right? They've got to try and go for a... This is such an anticlimactic, possibly the most anticlimactic end to a single map I think I've ever seen. And it comes all down to just the state of play, the amount of cash that's in the field right now. Norton will farm some kills, take down Kiriki. And this map doesn't go out with a bang, but with a whimper.
Aimers Red chose their fate here. They chose Skyway Stadium. And unfortunately for them, the virtual arena just was not enough. It's going to be Burnt Nuggets coming through. Palma, Norton, they look so good here.
Yeah, that's a very strong map from Burnt Nuggets. Second place on Fortune Stadium as well, puts them in very good standing. And NTHX really playing the smart game there, taking Aimers Red down a peg or two. This is the first time, I believe, Aimers Red have come last in any game. If I'm just flicking back through my notes, I don't want to lie, Artie. You know, I want to be a truthful music man. And
absolutely.
I think I'm right. I think that's the first time they've come final place.
I mean, it's definitely the first time they've had an entire game where they didn't even get a singular cash out. It is insane to see. I mean, I'm really struggling to figure out what it was that happened with Aimers Red that prevented them from making it through, because their pinch timing, they got unfortunately third-partied a couple times, but at the very end there was nothing stopping them from just diving a state. They just wanted the other cash out, and I think it's because they knew that they didn't have enough money. They needed to have it doubled if they wanted to get up. But at the same time, anything is better than fourth place, right?
Yeah, exactly. They could have played for third place there. They just chose not to, which is a bit of a misstep. You know, NTHX are very much known as the team that will play the objective over kills. If any team in the league does that, it is them. And they play that very smartly. That being said, in the early game, they gave themselves the opportunity to play like that later on by fragging out of their minds. That first cash out, the defense in residential, was phenomenal. Wiping two different teams that came their way, including Aimers Red. So, you know, you can say it's like, people will complain, it's not, it's not like true competition. These teams are trying not to fight each other. Over the course of a season, over the course of this many games, this many matches, it will level out, and you will get the best teams rising to the top. This just wasn't Aimers Red's day on Sky.
And that's all right, because we're over to Sis Horizon. And before we begin the map, I just have to address chat. I have to say, I do not like pineapple on pizza. Now, I am from Hawaii, right? And let me say this, Hawaiian pizza, as you call it, was invented in Canada. In Hawaii, yes, we love our pineapples, but we do not claim them on pizza. I just want to put that out there for the world to know that Hawaiian pizza wasn't even invented in Hawaii. So you can blame Canada for that atrocity. As we get started now with Sis Horizon, we're looking at Burnt Nuggets about to fight NTHX over Vault 2.
And Sis Horizon, of course, very different to Skyway, as we've just seen. Perhaps we'll see some more long-range guns coming out. Palmer sticking to his tried and tested SA-1216, the heavy shotgun that's been popular pretty much throughout the lifetime of the finals. Very solid choice. As we see a nice standoff here over the bridge. The barricades are out. Out comes the gateway, though, as they decide, we're just going to head for the hills with the cash-out box. Gas causing some problems here for NTHX, but it looked as though Palmer was caught napping there, and NTHX are coming out with the kills here. The plug is going to be successful from Norton, but at what cost?
Oh, here we go. Burnt Nuggets. They're getting better and better at figuring out how to read this lobby. Oh, but NTHX, they're here with a steal ready to go. Nothing will stop them from getting the steal there as Burnt Nuggets gets wiped out. We look over to cash out B, all the way over on the side of campus, I believe. And looks like Gamblers and Aimers Red, they're going to be going crazy. It is pulled out towards the fountain now. This is going to be kind of crazy. This is what I love to see, is when people pull it. They play with the entire sandbox here. Have to go into these lecture halls here in person. You know, he's got an SA-1216, and these hallways are a little bit daunting because even though, yeah, shotgun indoors makes sense, these hallways are long. The sight lines longer, and it's going to give Gamblers the ability to just run through, play for that really strong distance here. Look at Telco. He's about to start the steal here. Big barricades. Amazing positioning right now. Gamblers not going to be able to contest this. They ran a little bit too far as Aimers Red. They control the cash out.
And all those gas canisters that were placed by Aimers Red are going to now work against them should they want to contest it. Or Gamblers, rather, because Gamblers are the team that are deciding to contest this now instead. And some shots, great shots, in fact, coming out from, I believe, that must be a Telco on the other side. Kiriki now getting the res through onto DW, but meanwhile, Folin is taken out. He can't keep his whole team alive. Both the heavy... the medium and the light on low HP. They're just waiting now. They're going to wait for Folin to coin in.
Oh, but look, Nagini, he's going for the steal.
No way.
Oh my goodness. Wait, Nagini's about to take the seal. He does it! Palma as well. They hold out, but Nagini's taken out. Palma, he holds on strong. We see Aimers, they're going to lose one player there. Telco, he's holding on fast. Person. Gonna be going in. They can't go for the seal just yet as Gamblers. They dive up to the top there. Kideki and DW, they're holding on, trying to figure it out. Eros, he's back from the beyond. The damage is going through there on Norton, but what's happening now? Cash Out B is still being fought over. Gamblers, they're holding through as Burnt Nuggets, they're in control. Gamblers, they're trying to take it back, but Nagini, he's holding on. The barrel does enough damage to Fallen, so Fallen can't hold on. This is incredible. Burnt Nuggets, they came through, they third party. They took out both teams. And they take Cash Out B.
Wow.
Absolutely insane.
Wow, huge plays from Burnt Nuggets there. And Nagiri especially with the 2 kills in those fights to make the difference. That was a very low frag engagement across the board. NTHX, of course, benefiting from wiping that team as they chased them across the map, as we saw earlier, and getting a free Cash Out over on the far side. And they also get the freedom of going and tapping the 3rd vault. We have Burnt Nuggets tapping the 4th as well, as Gamblers and Aimers Red spawn back in. Oh, this is interesting. Burnt Nugget now going to be having to deal with that team coming in at them quite close. Aimers Red circling.
Aimers and Burnt Nuggets, just absolutely crazy. I love that play. So Palma dove in through his dome at the fight, which bought a little bit of time and space, and it made Aimers kind of confused. But then immediately they took Norton's gateway all the way over to C. Now, look at that. They whip it. They are going to be able to take it all the way out into the alleyway, into the street, outside library. This is going to be so difficult for anybody to come in control of right now. Is Palma and Nagiti, they hold up from the top ropes there of the fire escape. We check over to see Gamblers versus Aimers Red on Vault 3. They're going to be able to portal it in. Cash Out D in the art gallery. This is wild.
Yeah, some great manipulation of the Cash Out there, as you mentioned, from Burnt Nuggets. That, library building, big green building, much easier to defend from than the other one. It's not the museum. I'm always bad with these call-outs. Artie, help me out. What's the big yellow building called?
The big yellow building is Museum.
Museum. You see, I get confused because the art gallery is
the one
also
on the
rather
left.
museum-like. You know what I mean? They've
The
got these
one
big
right
sculptures.
to the left of Kideki, that's Workspace, right?
Yep.
The names of the buildings are on the outside, right? So this is library here.
So I have no excuse.
Yeah, you just
Having
look at the
played
top
this
of the
game a lot.
building.
Yeah.
Art gallery and museum are connected by that bridge there. You see up
I
at the
can't
top?
read,
Beautiful.
so that's my excuse.
That happens.
Moving past that, we have Gamblers trying to take on the Burnt Nuggets defense. There is NTHX also dipping their toe into Cash Out C, with only about 40 seconds left for Burnt Nuggets to have to fend off both these teams. But I have to say, Gamblers doing very well for kills, all full HP, already having taken down a couple of players on Burnt Nuggets, and NTHX deciding to try and defend it from this building that I've already forgotten the name of.
Oh, let's see what's going to happen now. It is an intense fight on C's. NTHX and Gamblers, they're going at it. Ploppy, he's holding on. Look at this. It's going to be Burnt Nuggets finally jumping to say, hey, who's stealing our cash?
Oh.
They push Nolix off of it. Absolutely incredible there. But the fight is still happening as Ploppy is going to stick onto it. 1 HP and a dream. He sticks. He holds. Oh, my goodness. But they stop him at the end. But Pepe, he's there in the corner. The the entirety of Burnt Nuggets' wife, but they're going to be able to take a cash out away. Absolutely wild fight there.
DW just left standing on a pile of coins and goo as he's the last one in that mess. Aimers Red get the benefit of a relatively free cash out to their name as well. So we've seen a lot of third partying so far on both waves of the cash outs. Let's see if we get it for the final wave, as the tallies are very tight. Burnt Nuggets out ahead with Aimers Red close behind, but it's still all to play for here on Sis Horizon.
Oh, this is going to be a pretty crazy ending here. I mean, all the teams are close up. This is very different to what we were seeing on Skyway. We see already the vault portal being over, but look at this. There's 3 teams again over at Library. It's going to be a bloodbath or a coin bath as we get ready to see Aimers plug. Oh, but they missed the plug. It goes to Gamblers.
Huge steal there from DW at the last moment. That could have even bounced into the cash out, but he grabs it just in time. The steal, though, is definitely on for Burnt Nuggets. The drop comes through as Kiriki drops it down for the Gamblers. Delays that time just a little bit longer. The glitch goes out, and now Gamblers can get set for a proper defense. It looks as though the other teams have fallen off it, and there's only 8 seconds left. Will this be successful on the far side, Ardy?
They don't care. Well, there's a minute and a half. The bottom number is the overtime minute.
Yeah, but it was 8 seconds. Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
And cash out B over on campus is going to be a lot easier for them to hold on to. But yeah, cash out A is being jumped in by Aimers Red. We see Gamblers holding from up top. Aimers Red, they're reading this pretty well. But again, here comes Burnt Nuggets. They're back again. A vengeance. It's going to be third-party central, as it looks like NTHX might be completely uncontested over on campus. But as the damage starts to fly through, we can see Aimers Red a little bit more on top. DW still live on Gamblers. He's going to be able to take out a Telco from the sidelines there. Pharos as well. He's super low. The entirety of Burnt Nuggets is still up. They finish off Pharos.
Now,
One player.
NTHX are playing really safe on the far side, but they can't afford to if they want first place. If this steal goes through for either Burnt Nuggets or Aimers Red, then they will cede that first place, as they just have. Burnt Nuggets now leading, with that still being successful from Palmer, and we've got, what, a minute 10 left in the server, and A is going to be confirmed in only 30 or so. NTHX basically playing solidly for second place here, but this A point isn't decided yet. We have a Telco bearing down on it, shooting out that APS. Unfortunately, he just doesn't have the support from his team necessary to try and get the kills, although maybe I've spoken too soon. In goes the Heavy, doesn't find the kills, Person can't get them. In comes the FAMAS. It's doing damage, but I don't think it's enough. Out goes a Red Barrel. They chuck it away, and now Atelco is trying to stick this. Ferios and Person have to protect him. They don't have mesh. They don't have anything. They just have the body block to win their fight.
Stopped.
He gets forced off and stopped, but there's still a moment to try and do this. Can they stick it? I don't think they can. That is confirmed by Burnt Nuggets, who will finish this map in first, but there's still action going on the far side, Ardy.
There's a lot of time left, 22 seconds. That's just enough for one little team fight to be efficient in 10 and steal, but Red THX, I feel like they're going to be all right here. Kideki is holding out to the sideline. They lose their light. Now it's down to this. That's THX pretty well secured for this next cash out. They're going to take second place as Aimers Red, they come in just to get the final kill points. But absolutely wild finish as Burnt Nuggets, above all odds, they were able to take out that library shot, and it hurts so much for Aimers Red because they almost had that plug and they would have got the extra $4,000, which would have secured them well up above. But unfortunately, because they did not get the plug, that plug went to Gamblers, who was on the very bottom. It was so crazy, but a huge up here for the Burnt Nuggets. Norton, Palma, Nagiti, fantastic game.
Second top place finish in a row as well. And look at the kills. This is a game that goes to show that kills really don't mean anything unless you're getting the objectives alongside them. DW, the only one breaking double digits. Kiriki on his team on 6 as well, bested only in the lobby by Ferios on 7. And yet, Gamblers finish last. So unfortunate.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where I'm very, questioning what these teams are kind of expecting. I feel like this could just be a sense of underestimation where maybe a Telco and squad, they're underestimating a little bit Aimers Red. But for us, we are the ones that have been underestimating the Burnt Nuggets. We've been underestimating NTHX just a little bit, I feel.
Well, yeah, Burnt Nuggets had a very good Wednesday last week. We saw them, we got to cast them do some fantastic stuff in a fairly stacked group, up against Saints won a fair
Saints
amount,
won.
and they came, first, second in a few of their games. They didn't get that first or second place on Vegas, but yeah, they did quite well. And then on Saturday, they just kind of fell off a little bit. So maybe they're just a Wednesday team, Burnt Nuggets, that's their modus operandi. They like weekdays, it seems.
Could be. I mean, I'm definitely a weekday person. I'm more of a morning person, though. Maybe that's what Aimers Red is going through, where it's not the morning over there in France, and it's one of those situations where, it all wore off by now. But that's all right.
I've got to say, it's a good thing you are a morning person, because what is it? Over here in the UK, it's almost 8 p.m. What time is it over there for you right now?
In the middle of the Pacific Ocean right now, it is 8:40 in the morning. So I still got a day ahead of me. When this is done, I'm going to go surfing. It's going to be fantastic. But for our teams, they're going to Las Vegas Stadium. And for the gamblers, they're going to feel right at home.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's not just a gimmick. They are actually good at Vegas. It's the stats don't lie. So we expect to see them come up a little bit here, and they really have to, because they haven't finished above third place so far today. They've come last twice. Really not a strong day for the gamblers. So yeah, it has to turn around for them here on Vegas.
Oh yeah, this is map 4, of course. This is where it all comes down to. Started on Fortune, went to Skyway, went to Sis Horizon, now here on Vegas. Now, for Aimers Red, this is another one of the maps that's really strong for them, but they got to really worry about gamblers. And NTHX feel at the top of their game as well. So, excited if NTHX, as soon as I say that, they bonk their heads. As soon as they bonk their heads, that concussion is going to come into play later. See Aimers Red about to dive in. Oh, but nobody's going for the vault first. They're going for this fight. And Polyp, wow, some damage.
Yeah, some damage indeed. Unfortunately, it's going mostly against NTHX here. Pepe trying to make good on this engage, but he does find the kill there. Telco is the one to clean up that engagement, though. We'll go on over to the other fight over the first vault, and Kiriki taken out very cleanly by Norton as we watch this AR in action, the new ARN for the Lights. DW taken out as well. Some heavy lifting being done here by the Light, and Palmer, in fact, the unlikely carrier of the vault, decides, I can be just as fast if I want to be, and takes it over to A. Yeah, you just have to believe. You got to get those heavy leg muscles pumping.
Can we just talk about Norton's aim there, though? Because I really feel like that aim was probably the cleanest, most beautiful aim I've ever seen. He did it twice in a row. Wow. And, we don't know what the ARN stands for, but I'm going to say this. If we get an anime skin, get a cute little cat, we can call it the assault rifle. Nya. We're going to see now Pharaoh's TV using the AR, jumping in, and THX is there getting absolutely swept with. As Persian and Etelko, they come to finish it up.
Yeah, Aimers Red just schwepping the board, pouring lemonade all over NTHX right there. They're going to be hot and sticky, and unfortunately out of the server for the time being. We see Norton right now once again exhibiting that luscious aim that you were talking about. Oh, it doesn't quite track his player through the vent as cleanly as he'd like, but of course Palmer is there to finish him up. Great work. And you were talking about the ARN earlier. I thought you were going to go down the angle of naming it after Norton. Maybe he has to do a little bit better on it, or sustain that kind of performance to have it be called the assault rifle Norton.
Perhaps we'll have to figure that out. I'll have my people talk to Embark's people about that. But for now, we'll see NTHX. They want to name the ARN after themselves. We'll see if that is going to happen as they jump in. Although, wait,
NTHX, just more letters.
Have we noticed NTHX are on HMM now?
Yes, they do this occasionally, and it can work. Unfortunately, though, it's not working right now, as we see Ploppy get melted out of the sky. Pepe and Nolly haven't engaged with him. I think that was just a bit of a mis-execution, to invent a bit of a word there. But Aimers Red are coming in, trying to capitalize on the chaos caused by NTHX there. Oh, Norton gets melted, finally put in his place there by the Gamblers. Gamblers really putting them to the sword at Aimers Red. They get the second kill as well. Now they're chasing down Etelko. Can they secure the frag on this final medium? Do they need to try and stick the steal in the meantime? They can try and do this with a 2 versus 1 on the point. Norton shows up out of nowhere to play spoiler, but Gamblers get the steal anyway.
Oh man, and this is again what I love about the winch claw. You just pull the cash out station to anywhere on the map you want it to be. When you have it in that alleyway, so exposed in such a tight corridor, straight up that you have to deal with, you have to focus that team fight. And these teams are scared of each other. That's why we're not seeing a lot of team fights. NTHX, they're going to be in a tough position right now. Aimers Red as well, slightly better off. 8K in the bank. It's going to be Vault 4 being procced by Burton Nuggets. I believe that we are seeing Norton get his gateway prepped to take that all the way over to C as they try to steal towards Alpha Acta building.
All the names of these buildings have changed, and I was bad enough at getting the call-outs before. But now at least it's very clear what they are, you know? It's just a big sponsor building. Much easier to call
It's just a
out.
big sponsor, exactly. Although there are 2 Alpha Actas, it's kind of crazy, but it is what it is. I like the Auspuz building. I like the giant, mural of Sophia Petronell. It's great. Look now to see D getting fought over by everybody, it seems like, as the Gamblers, they're trying to hold on to their hometown. NTHX, they're in control of the vault, but for how much longer? Actually, for a lot longer, as we see the Cerberus go kind of nuts here.
Great play from NTHX. They do come out occasionally, and when they come out and win a team fight, it always seems to be very convincingly. Aimers Red, though, really dominating in the kills front, as we have a bit of a lull in the action, RD, with, 2 teams wiped, and the timer just happily ticking away for both Aimers Red and NTHX.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that being said, we'll figure out who comes in closer. It looks like Gamblers have spawned over towards Aimers. It's Burnt Nuggets who are going to be able to deal with NTHX a little bit easier. And we're going to try to figure out exactly how this fight will pace out for Aimers Red. They're holding up from that top ropes there, but Gamblers, they're really good at bringing the fight to them, especially here. And this top rope position that they're holding on, well, they have a great view of the cash out, but to be completely honest with you, if Gamblers start to really fight, they focus this team fight, but it doesn't look like they're about to do that. It really does not look like that. Burnt Nuggets, they're also out here over to Aimers Red. Burnt Nuggets, you're here to third party? Wait, Gamblers, they're dropping it down. They missed the first DMAT.
Oh,
a little tough.
Okay. Yeah, and we had some pot shots taken there by Norton, but Aimers Red don't want to stick around any longer. The drop has already come through from this Gamblers, of course, taking it. NTHX are happy to defend their D point with no contention whatsoever. Sees, weirdly, all the fighting is happening up above right now as Nigiri tries to get in and find the steal, but the gas is going to prevent him from doing that. He pops out the DMAT. It doesn't drop down after him. He just has to seal it back up to prevent himself dying, and that cash out will easily go the way of Aimers Red. A very quiet second wave of cash outs, RD, as NTHX look like they're not under too much pressure either. We'll see how these fights pan out over here between the 2 pink and slightly off pink colors. I like to call it red, of course. Aimers Red are the ones wiped as Gamblers come out on top there. So yeah, final wave of cash outs, and it's very level pegging across the board.
Oh, absolutely. This is when the finals is at its best. When every team has an opportunity to stay competitive for that first place position, because then you never have any idea of what to expect for these final 2 cash outs. Yeah. And over the Enjimo building, this is going to be amazing. This is actually my favorite room here with the tree and like all the holograms. We're going to be seeing them start this off really strong with the gateway. Oh, but look at this. Burnt Nuggets is here too. A gateway of their own.
Can they do it? Can Burnt Nuggets get the plug? No, Gamblers are the ones to get it in, but they still have to deal with the presence of Burnt Nuggets. Gamblers having to scramble. They've already lost a body up on the top floor. Looks like Nigiri is suffering as well. It looks like a 3 versus 1 if I'm not mistaken, and that is it. A wipe. DW taken out, and a clean steal should go through for a Telco and Co. Burnt Nuggets are up and still causing problems, though. Norton taken out, and they are trying to stick this steal. More bodies being thrown in. The kitchen sink being piled into this building by Burnt Nuggets. They are still a man down, though. I don't know if they can make their presence stick. In fact, they look like they're retreating, RD. Aimers Red have done what they needed to for now.
Oh yeah, 100%. Aimers Red, they're now sitting pretty because no matter what, I think that they just want to maintain control. Nigiri gonna get taken out early by Aimers here as they try to find the last player, Burnt Nuggets. Oh, do they know? They do. They see him on the stairs. Wait, no, they don't.
No,
wait,
behind.
they didn't see him. Oh,
Yeah,
he was behind.
Yeah, he's hiding. He's hiding. Palmer, the stealth heavy, gets away with it for the moment. Norton going over to the cash out, but he senses that it's maybe not the right time. He and Palmer are going to try and pinch onto this point. It looks like Aimers Red are on the roof, and they're looking to maybe play from above. They have the opportunity to deny with that DMAT. They get the initiation. Very clean shots coming out from Atelco. Doesn't quite connect with the finishing blow, but Palmer is taken down with the help of Perzon there, his heavy. So 3 versus 2. They are looking comfortable on this point, I have to say, Ardy.
Oh yeah, you can see Atelco just like he knows that he has to stay in a position where he can get to every member of his team as equally as fast. And so to watch him kind of play this macro positioning around his team, close to the cash out, close to being able to demat up or down where he needs to. But we check out the other one. It's chaos over at cash out A as NTHX and Gamblers, they're going wild. NTHX, they need to maintain control of this, but Gamblers, they so desperately want the points. Only 30 seconds left on the shot clock here for the end of this group. It's gonna look like the cash out is being stolen by Gamblers. A lot of goo separates them. The steal comes in. Gamblers, they take it. Absolutely incredible. The steal needs to be forced right now by NTHX. They want to stay in, but we're looking for Nuggets.
Oh, no.
They're ready to troll as well.
No.
The gas. Oh, there's no way anybody can touch it soon enough. It looks like possible.
The Cerberus,
Wait,
it's
possible.
dispersed it. The Cerberus
If he
fired,
holds
dispersed
it-
the gas. If he holds it, he can survive.
Oh,
Released
Kireki
it. No,
gets it.
Kireki.
Gamblers, they're in control. Gamblers second place.
Wow. Utter chaos and the final moments of Vegas. And wouldn't you believe it? Aimers Red coming out on top, but the Gamblers with a last-minute maneuver to get that quasi-podium finish, second place. We know they're good on Vegas, and that is their best placement of the day. They really needed that. Aimers Red, though, with another first-place finish. They split the spoils for first-place finishes in this group with Burnt Nuggets, who I believe finished this map, third place?
Last.
Fourth place. Last place for Burnt Nuggets. That's a bit
Wow.
rough.
I mean, especially considering like how much damage Nigiri was able to do on Sis Horizon. This is surprising to see. A 0-kill game. Call him Owen the way he is 0-6. But besides the point, we're going to be seeing 24 kills on the board for Aimers Red.
Wow.
On top of a first place finish. Now, that's 2 first place finishes and a ton of kills. Now, it does offset that they had that really rough game where they finished last. But I'm really hyped to see what these standings look like at the end of the day.
Speaking of finishing last, interestingly, throughout this group, every team finished last besides one. Ardy, do you want to take a guess? I'm going to put you on the spot here. Guess who didn't finish last?
NTHX.
Yeah. NTHX is third, second, and third. So
You think
the most
I'm not taking
consistent
notes?
team. Oh, all right. I see how it is.
Because I'm not taking notes. I'm just.
Oh, well, then
I'm
you
just
guessed perfectly. I'm taking notes. So, yeah, I got your back. It's cool. Yeah, NTHX with the most consistent performance in the group, but not a single win either. Not a single loss. Very strange. You rarely see that.
All right, wait. So we're looking at these scores here. Aimers Red, 969. I believe that's without the last map being added. So once that map gets added, 100 points is going to put Aimers Red just above Aimers Blue.
NTHX still in the red, unfortunately, after, quite a tough group. Like I say, they're consistent, but they're not consistently good enough, it seems. And that's going to be rough because, of course, you need to be higher up in the standings to make your way through to the playoffs at the end of the season. But we are only 3 play days in. That is the end of Group B on Playday 3. We still have a single group, Group C, coming up next. And as I mentioned earlier, we have Saints 1, who, don't be deceived by the fact that they are currently sitting in 8th. They were first place before this Playday began. So a very strong side. But Divine Dead, Godlike Gamer, and Resit have not moved. They are all up against the number 1 seed in Group C. So it's a real scrap to get out of the bottom between those 3 teams in Group C. Ardy, do you have any final thoughts about Group B?
Honestly, I'm really surprised to see the consistent performance there. I'm happy to see Gamblers take a little bit of an uppies here and there. NTHX, they're looking more and more solid every single day. I need to keep seeing consistent growth from them. But overall, it's looking like everybody is staying competitive. We were a little bit worried about this group, that maybe Aimers Red was going to be a little too dominant. But to be honest, Aimers Red, they got served a little bit. So Aimers Red, it wasn't all for free. This was a very fun game. But yeah, like Jerry just said, this is going to be the end of our Group B. But don't go anywhere, chat. We still got Group C coming up right after this.
Welcome to the Finals Pro League. This is the seasonal battleground where teams fight for dominance, bragging rights, and the ultimate title of regional and world champion. Season 1 kicks off with 2 qualifiers where only the strongest make it through. 3 teams from each qualifier will advance to the regular season. But getting there won't be easy. The format? A modified Swiss bracket. If you lose twice, you're out. Win 4 games and you punch your ticket to the league. Simple, brutal, competitive. In the regular season, the best 12 teams in each region battle it out over 2 intense splits, each lasting 2 weeks. Every split has 4 playdays, where teams are shuffled into fresh groups of 4. And if your squad isn't clicking, no worries. There's a short roster change window between splits. The format? Cash out. Placement and eliminations earn points, stacking up to determine playoff seeding. Only the top 2 teams in each region secure an automatic spot in the championship series, so every match matters. Out of the regular season and into the regular playoffs. The top 8 teams from the regular season start in the upper bracket, while the bottom 4 teams wait in the lower bracket, hungry to fight their way up. The format here is final round 3v3. Lower bracket is best of 1s until the semifinals, where it's best of 3. The upper bracket is best of 3s until the finals, which are a best of 7 showdown. Every playoff match earns teams points towards their season total, affecting their seeding for the grand finale, the championship series. 12 teams, 2 regions, 1 trophy. Welcome to the championship series. With an initial $500 prize pool and growing, this 2-day event will see the top 12 teams from both regions pitted against one another for the title of world champion. The top 2 teams from each region get a free pass to round 2. Every match is best of 3 until the upper bracket finals go to best of 5, and the grand finals, best of 7. Only 1 team will stand at the top when the dust settles. We'll see you in the arena where we'll find out who can reach the finals.
It's showtime!
You know, June, every time I think I've seen it all, the finals proves me wrong. What a play!
That's one for the highlight reel, Scotty.
The next chapter in this epic saga is about to unfold. A storm of epic clashes is brewing this season of the finals!
The stars, distant, watching. When will they arrive? Will your family be disintegrated first or last? Will your family dog become their leader? With Holtau's alien invasion insurance, you don't have to worry. Alto, we got your back.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in, the sports beverage designed for champions. With a Spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Spooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Spooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Spooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
That strange thought you just had, where did it come from? And was it even yours? Our new Series 2000 effectively suppresses third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our competitors within the standard deviation of conformity. With the Series 2000, your mind stays in control. Via, we as one.
The life giver, the sun, always on, the source of everything that is good. But can it be trusted? Holtau's Sun Insurance will have you covered if the unimaginable happens and the light goes out. Holtau, brighter than ever.
Absorbe ce que c'est. Monde, monde, pour misérable et fortuné. Absorbe ce que tu désires devenir, c'est ce que tu es. Alors, absorbe, absorbe.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pro Hubs for the finals. It's going to be Season 0 of the Pro League. It's Regional Playday number 3 for EU. That guy over there is Jerry the Music Man. I am Artie in real life, except I'm not really in real life. I'm on your screen. I don't exist out here, but we're here with the finals, and it's time, Jerry, for Group C.
Damn, that was energetic. I hope I can match that energy for the whole of Group C because it deserves it. We have some of the best teams in the finals. I want to make that very clear. These players are all incredibly talented, but they are currently mostly sitting at the bottom of the table here, are the Saints 1 are the exception. Number 1, just like it says in their name at the start of the Playday, but Divine Dead, Resit, and Godlike Gamer not quite living up to their, divine names. Yeah, there's like a theme going on here. I don't
Saints.
know. Yeah.
What does Resit mean?
This is the most holy group we have today. I don't know what Resit is, really. It doesn't. It's just a word. It's not even a whole word. As a music person,
in French, it's récit, and it means a narrative, account, or story.
That makes sense.
So I guess it's not like récit. It's not like a biblical thing. So you're kind of out of the realm of what we're talking about here. But you know what? They're telling a story about some godlike saint divine structures.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Why not? Anyway, here's a look at the standings just to reinforce our point there. Divine Dead, Godlike Gamer, Resit, all sitting below the 400 mark as it stands. But Saints 1, like we said, were very top. And they'll look to try and reclaim that today. In fact, they'll probably see today as a huge opportunity to try and sweep the board with a bunch of first place finishes and reclaim that spot with a real statement. But this is the finals and things don't always follow the script. You know, they're going into a game here with probably a big target on their backs. So this could be a very surprising set of cash-out games. We're going to start on Fortune Stadium, and we are looking right now at Divine Dead in orange. So pick your favourite team, pick your favourite colours, follow along. It's always more exciting that way. And yeah, let's get into the action, Artie.
Alrighty, Saints 1 looking to see if they're going to be holding up pretty strong. Also, everybody, as a reminder, Pro Hubs is now affiliated on Twitch, so thank you guys so much for that support. Any money that comes in here, bits, subs, anything, it goes directly into the prize pool. So, of course, in $50 increments. So, thank you guys so much for all the support. We're looking now to see Saints 1 going for that prize pool, but it's going to be Godlike Gamer that procs the vault first. And it does look like Emilien, he did not see where the light player to the right had gone.
No, it's a little bit cagey here. We've seen some very quick initial fights over vaults today, but this is barely a scratch on either side. It looks like Cash Out 1 maybe has a bit more bite in it, but again, no one really taking any serious flack here. We'll have a look at Cash Out 1 for the time being. Temi Tim has been taken out just in front of us. It's a 2 versus 2 here as Ollie's been felled as well on the side of Divine Dead. Up he comes with the defib. The jump pad is ready for him to take as soon as he spawns. But Averex looks like he's managing to get away. No, he doesn't. I spoke too soon. The light melted and dealt with. And now Divine Dead happily moving Vault 1 across to the Isolt building. And
oh yeah,
I
this
love
is going to be
one.
super nice. Yeah, this is so great. I still haven't quite figured out if this is like a dorm situation, if this is like just like a work tower situation.
It
but
feels very,
I love it.
it feels very Quake, you know? It's like a big arena with a massive jump pad in the middle. Like
It's
the
my
most
favorite building in the game.
same. Absolutely love this building.
We're gonna see also Vault 2 still not made its way over to B on the other side of the map in the Njimo building. I watched the trailer during the break. It is Njimo. Which I should have known because it's based on a Japanese brand and I speak whatever. Anyway, we see Reset about to dive in here underneath the Divine Dead. Let's see if they're going to be able to tell their story as the Divine Dead hold up for the top ropes.
I like it. Well, the story begins with a D-mat to drop it down a floor, as many good stories do in the finals. And a response, D-mat to open up the ceiling. And in fact, it looks like Reset, they've decided, oh, the next chapter is to go above.
They're trading positions. Now it's Divine Dead underneath. Oh, this could be scary, though. I don't see an APS set up for Alone in Paris just yet. He's holding onto it, but YOLO 2D, he's up to the top there. Timmy Tim, I think he hears the footsteps. He knows they're just underneath, but I see they're looking a little bit timid towards this fight. They don't know how to approach, but as they do, Averek's going to be taking a lot of shots in. A nice lock bolt there. A good grenade as well. A glitch nade from Raze.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be successful here. Divine Dead in their assault. They have a totem under their control. A mattress is interestingly just sort of flopped on the floor there. Good refrag as Rose finds one, and that is the wipe successful onto Resi. And they will successfully defend their cash out with only, 30 seconds left. I would say that's safe.
I would say that's safe enough to leave and go somewhere else. Absolutely.
Well, that's what we've done. We've gone over to B. We've gone somewhere else. Nice little perch taken up by Mickey there to take out Cartonas. And now the wipe successful onto Godlike Gamer. So we see a swap of ownership of Cash Out B. Saints 1 in control over here. And again, only about 30 seconds left, 35 or so. Maybe they have to survive one last assault from the newly spawned Resi.
Yeah, Saints 1 definitely are going to be on the struggle bus here as Emilian goes out early. There's plenty of time for this cash out to be stolen, but lots of gas on the point. That's going to help Timmy Tim. He doesn't have any flames to deal with that. He's going to go down to half HP, but Mickey, he gets damaged up. He's going to be able to win the 1 HP in a dream, but YOLO 2D comes in to collect. It's someone still alive on the sidelines. Not nearly enough time for this steal here, though he will try. Someone's going to proc that gas. Timmy Tim going to go out. YOLO 2D sticks it. He's going to go out in a flame. That's Saints 1. Surviving through as Resi gets sent to the Shadow Realm.
Solid objective-based play there by someone. He didn't even involve himself in the very first fight. Decided, we're just going to take a bunch of 1v3s here to play the time. They didn't need to win their fights in that. And yet, someone even did. He came out on top. So, huge plays from Saints 1 with the cash out and the wipe on their side. Now we're taking a look at Divine Dead as they jump their way across with a second cash vault in hand. Moving on over, and they come into contact with Godlike Gamer. Some good shots sent out by Alone in Paris. Takes out Cartonas. He's been on the receiving end of some good shots a few times now, we've seen. It's getting a bit crowded around D. Is everyone heading to the same cash out?
Yeah, so Saints 1 and Godlike, they're just fighting over the opportunity to get the plug here. As both Vault 3 and 4 make their way over, it's back up into the Isolde building. But looks like Alone in Paris. He's going to try to throw it away, buy some time, but he's going to go out. That's going to remove Divine Dead out from here. Saints 1, they are set up to take control of Cash Out D better than anyone else. They're going to go up to the top of the Isolde skyscraper as they manage to maintain form on floor 5 of Sector 4.
Great play by Saints 1 there. This becoming custodians of the D site. And 2 different cash outs came their way and they dealt with them very nicely. Timmy Tim melting through opposition there. And he's going to find another one. Doesn't get him on the end of the winch, but takes a lot of damage onto that player and almost finishes up another one with the assistance from his friend. Is struggling a little bit here though. And the jump pad is enough for his target to escape. Oh, we see him right there. He's hidden. He just walked straight past the invis light.
He doesn't care.
No.
He just doesn't mind. Not at all. Absolutely fun, fortunate. We'll look to Cash Out D, where Saints 1 continues to hold up. Godlike Gamer, 1 player remaining. Cash Out C, look at this. Divine Dead, they were struggling for a bit, but they're honestly holding steadfast right now. As I see, they're going to try to dive up over to D, but they get taken out instead by Divine Dead. These Cash Outs, they're so close to one another that it's kind of making it difficult for these teams to figure out where the most amount of pressure is coming from.
Divine Dead, in case you're wondering as well, have Rose back in their team. We did have a really good sort of cameo on Saturday from their sub, Uti, who really lit up the server. But Rose back in for today. Great red canister there, dealing with one pink player. Of course, there's a goo heavy on the other side of it. I've only just caught that out. Aim point running with the goo gun. Like to see it. It's a bit of a rarity. Very exciting. We'll keep an eye on him as the day progresses. Aimpoint trying to finish off someone at range, though, of course, with the Shaq 50. Very good paired with the goo gun. You know, closing those lines of engagement, letting those dual bullets split and deal double damage at close range. But they are running out of time here, Ardy.
Yeah, big damage. I mean, looks like someone's trying to start that steal there, and there's nobody on Saints 1 ready to capitalize on it, but they get it dropped anyway. Rested and Godlike Gamer, they're all fighting over it here. Oh, and Saints 1 goes out! Nobody's here to stop it from Godlike Gamer. Wait, but are the other teams going to try?
Oh.
No, Godlike Gamer, they come in control, and there's no time for the steal to go any other direction here, though they will try. Godlike Gamer now up in control there. Saints 1, they're still fine. They're still sitting up at first. They will go down to second here if they're not able to come in control of Divine Dead's cash out. But that still hurts a lot because that was insurance for Saints 1. Looks like now they're going to have to rely on Holto.
Yeah, much closer game now, with the exception of Rasi, who are languishing behind. C will be successful for Divine Dead, and this fight at the moment is just to gain control over who gets to approach the next vault. It's really cagey at the moment, and we see some nice movement being brought out by Aimpoint. This was something that we got to witness a lot of, particularly the map of Soul that they played on Saturday really sticks in my memory. Aimpoint just sort of making the entire map his own with this goo.
Oh, the goofment!
Yeah,
the goofment is so good. Oh, Saints 1, they're gonna run in control right here. Godlike Gamer, they lose one player, but look at that. They're still really sitting pretty, and I love this. Godlike Gamer, they just know how to move around this map after my own heart. But once again, oh my gosh, what are these cash out spawns? A and B, they're both at the same part of the map. They're both over at Sector 6.
Embark, what gives? Someone get on this right now. This is terrifying. Everyone's going to be jumping on over here. And, you know, jumping on over here isn't a given either. It's quite risky to make that maneuver. You get yourself up in a good perch, as Mickey is probably doing right now, to try and protect his cash out. But unfortunately, they've left it a little bit alone, a little bit unguarded. Rasi are going to take control of that. Will Cash Out 6 make its way over to B successfully? That's why this is going to be really difficult to maneuver. The team's playing all around it. I'd be surprised, actually, if it made its way here.
I'd also be surprised if Saints is even going to try to fight. They really don't care about KC at all.
Godlike
I
Gamer
mean, KC, they're going to be set in on this. Looks like Godlike Gamer. They get the plug just barely.
Oh,
wait, no, they didn't.
No, they didn't. It's disintegrated. They missed the timing, and now there's only one cash out, so it would have to be doubled, which puts everyone in reach of first place. Even Rasi, who are now the ones set to win if they hold it.
Wait, but Divine Dead, they don't really care at this point in time. They can just take this fight no matter what, because both Godlike and Saints, they're both dead here. So Divine Dead, they're going to try to make sure the receipt is Divine Dead as well. It's already down to just a 3-on-2 situation right now with the heavy remove of the game. Averex looking to see if he can stall it out with Alone in Paris. He's holding through. Averex, he's trying to get the kill here. He's not going to be able to. Divine Dead, they get the steal, and there's no way Receipt comes back to that, especially as Godlike Gamer spawn back in. They're going to be doing their best to get the steal for themselves. They need it desperately. Divine Dead, they don't really care if they get it or not. They just want to remove Receipt, and this is crazy. The goo is going to work out here. Godlike Gamer possibly. No, they can't get it. Divine Dead, they're holding on. Divine Dead, oh my God.
Rasi were handed a lifeline there. An unbelievable lifeline. Two cash outs spawning right next to each other. One of them disappearing in overtime. The vault coming to them, catapulting them from fourth to first. But Divine Dead, they had other ideas. Unbelievable.
Divine Dead could have just, they would have been in first place no matter what. That felt personal.
They would have come second at least, but yeah, they really put Resi down. They saw the opportunity. Both other teams wiped and said, you know what? We can 3v3 them. They didn't even do that well in the fragging department. Rose went 0-4. They came up against a Resi side who were going to win with a huge kill tally, but instead have come bottom with it instead. Oh my God. And Saints won. Saints won. Let's just take a moment. Is that 25 kills total for the second place team?
It is. It is. Massive. 25 kills, and then following that up is Resi with 18. Absolutely crazy amount of kills on the board for these teams, but yeah, it goes to show it's really about timing. It's really about playing correctly and figuring out how you can best mitigate that damage. But I still can't believe that every single set of cash outs was right next to each other. It was like the worst case scenario every single moment. And for both of them to spawn in Sector 6, guys, there are so many cash out spawn locations. The odds of that happening on the most isolated part of the map, absolutely wild.
Yeah, and we have seen cash out spawn everywhere on Fortune Stadium over the course of the day. So it's not broken. We know it's fine. We know it works fine. It's actually one of the best maps. I love it. But seeing that made me a little mad. That was terrifying. For everyone in server, they must have seen that and thought, oh god, what's going to happen at the end here? And, I mean, we were treated to a spectacle. That's what we love as casters, as audience members for the neutral. That is fantastic entertainment. That's got to sting
100%.
for a few of the teams in lobby, though.
Big shout out to Burrito Supreme for the 5 gifteds. Absolutely amazing. Burrito, he's the background. Guys, Burrito is the one that is pulling all the work here. He is controlling the cameras. He's running the broadcast. He's showing you our pretty faces. He's doing the most out here. We are at a hype train right now. And guys, any single bit of support that you throw in here will go directly to the players. So if you guys want to support this tournament, you want to support the players that you're seeing, every bit of donation goes to that prize pool. All bits, subs, and ad revenue goes right in there. So, without further ado, let's jump into map 2 here. We're on Monaco, and this is our first time seeing Monaco today, Jerry.
Unbelievable. This is such a popular map, and we've had, what, so many maps. We're on map number 10 of the day. And granted, a few of them have been Fortune. We've started every single one on Fortune. That's how it's worked. But Divine Dead opting to bring us here to sunny Monaco. Reci may feel right at home in the French heartlands. And, yeah, we're going to just start on off with... Who's this? We're watching Reci. It's almost as though Burrito can hear us and know our every word.
Almost as if that is the case here. Godlike Gamer gonna be taking a ton of damage. Look at Averex. He's in such a good position here. Oh, but it's just down to him now. Positioning paid off, though. The XP54 dealing a lot of that full frontal damage there, but Godlike Gamer, they're pushing through. And look at that goo gun. Oh, it's so chaotic. All 3 members of Godlike Gamer still up and standing. We're starting off with Divine Dead and Reci being dead. Divinely, even.
Saints and Godlike Gamer benefiting there. And, yeah, the Vault gets tapped over on 2. Meanwhile, Vault 1 had already been tapped, so it looks like Saints 1 will be a little bit ahead of the pace. Very nice cash out to defend as well, on top of, I don't know what this building is, but it's certainly sponsored by Dyson, I can tell you that much. Oh, that's a very close spawn for Divine Dead, who can go straight at A.
Oh yeah, there are quite a bit of potential options to get in here, especially as Divine Dead are holding on to dear life, it seems. But just as I say that, Reci, they're out again. So unfortunate. Averex just not able to find impact right now. We're looking to see if Rose is going to be able to at least hold on, but no. Looks like for now, Alone in Paris, he's going to be the last remaining member of Divine Dead to try and stay alive for his team to coin in so they can have a chance of fighting up against Saints 1.
I think he's going to try and go for the res here. We'll keep an eye on Alone in Paris, because he is alone. Not quite in Paris. We are in Monaco.
In Monaco.
In Monaco, alone in Monaco. And now Ollie is the one who's alone in Monaco. But he has a sledgehammer. We love to see it.
I love the sledgehammer. I love Monaco. This is a good combo.
Yeah, it's possibly the most popular sledge map for heavies. But he's not at full health yet, not ready necessarily to go in for that fight, but the winch will bail him out of that, get the kill. Unfortunately, the dome is going to have to do the heavy lifting in this one. Mickey is smarter than his fallen comrade, and the winch heavy comes in to clean it up. That is Saints 1 wiping Divine Dead and defending their point for the time being. We hop on over to the other point. Cartones and Ozzy Punto taken out in quick succession. A 2 versus 2 here between Godlike Gamer and Reci. And aim point taken out means that Reci are the ones that have fallen short. No, sorry. Divine Dead. I'm losing my marbles. Reci have managed to do it.
They did it. Godlike Gamer's wiped out. This is a fully free steal here. Oh, I love this as well. Monaco is one of the few maps where the buildings still kind of crumble like this, where you can just cut that building in half and use it. Oh, but Divine Dead. Oh, they're coming in with a vengeance right now. Oh, look at Oi. He's playing so perfectly around his own dome there. Oh, but he does manage to stay alive there. Reci, they're coming in through it with this damage and destruction. Wait, Reci in the chaos. They already stole it back.
Yeah, Reci have it.
Wait.
Divine Dead might be able to rescue this.
It's not happening.
Oh, it's not happening. Oh, wait, no. Could this be enough time?
Wait,
Has
Averex,
Alone
he
in
doesn't
Paris
know.
done it? I think he's done it. That's it. He's managed to get the steal. The
Averex
last
doesn't know.
moment.
I knew it.
He was too far away. I think he was just too far away. I think he coined in. He was running his little heart out towards the point. And yeah, wow.
I told you.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Drama on the
I
first
told
point
you
already.
in the chaos they were gonna do it. Oh my goodness, we're getting off to a very crazy start here, Jerry. I actually need to catch my breath. We're not even to cash out 3 or 4.
I gotta say, there was a moment there where jump pads appeared around the Sledge Heavy. His worst nightmare. One of the best counters to a Sledge Heavy is getting out in the open and having a jump pad or two down. He realized he really couldn't do much in that situation. He just had to run towards the point and hope for the best. But luckily, the rest of his team on Divine Dead did the heavy lifting in place of the heavy. So yeah, we've seen some excellent and exciting Sledge Heavy play. No one's stepping up to Velo's standards yet, though. I've got to be honest. He's really made a mark as the Sledge Heavy of the league.
Oh, absolutely, especially on the EU side. Nice little angle pad there on the side of the house. We are going to get Cash Out D started out with Vault 4. Vault 3 has a long way to go to the other side of the map, all the way up from Forest. But seeing this here over in Pocket Park, this is kind of fun to watch, to see all the different ways that they can hold on. Saints 1, they are going to try to hold on to the buildings, especially these side buildings here. You get a lot of different height, a lot of different areas to pop out from. But for Million, there is also definitely worthwhile strategy in holding close to the sideline so you can still use your winch. But for now, none of the teams are even pushing them. It's going to be someone getting all the way up on the crane. And we'll find out what's happening with the other vault right now.
Yep, we will. And someone just getting some pot shots shot over towards Godlike Gamer, who are still trying to decide what to do with themselves right now. Of course, D is ticking along quite happily. Looks like 3 will be plugged in C shortly. They are coming under contention on the far side, Resi and Co. Someone, yeah, he's just pinning the pink team down right now, preventing their direct approach. He's doing a great job sort of dipping in and out of cover, using that invis to his advantage. And the ARN at range, it's useful. You can do this sort of thing. This is a kind of play that wasn't really available to the lights as much before.
Are you saying that on light you can play at range now?
I mean,
ARN?
do you see the LH1 anywhere these days? No.
No. 17 damage, it seems to be the lucky number for this weapon, because it really turned it from the 15 to 17 damage buff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But Godlike Gamer is struggling to make it out here. Saints 1, they have abandoned their high ground holding pattern here, especially after Emilian goes down. But Emilian, he's going to be able to coin back in. Let's see if Godlike Gamer has the opportunity to run up. It will be a couple seconds before Emilian can come back in. So right now it's just Mickey sort of holding in on his own, as unfortunately it does seem like someone is a little bit far away for this engagement. But with the gas on the point, it's not going to matter too much. Emilian gets shredded. Oh.
That's a wipe, and they
gas.
are going to get the steal. The gas isn't enough to deny it. They're putting out as much goo as possible. It's not really necessary unless they fear a third party there. But Godlike Gamer, they really took their time over that point, and they were rewarded for that patience with the wipe, with the cash out.
Oh, check this though. He's going crazy with the sledge, but unfortunately, for Averex, unfortunately, his head is going to be the end of the sledge. And look at this damage just going through, but yeah, rest it. They're on top here.
Not meeting the standard there. Divine Dead, though, are still holding from the point, causing a bit of problem with these long angles now. And in fact, there's some great defense coming out from Rose, as he finds almost all the kills he needs to, but not enough, as now the rest of Godlike Gamer can surge in and get the steal. They're going to cover this area with goo. Yeah, some great plays. They've just crossed the map in one go and gotten a steal at the start, and now they're getting this point as it's halfway completed. Godlike Gamer really stepping up for the second map.
Absolutely. And Saints 1, they have a good opportunity here to just stay on top if they can win one more. But yeah, look at Ozapuni just doing crazy work there on Godlike Gamer, carrying them to the top. Okay, Saints 1, Vault 5, about to get deposited here. And this deposit is going to be quite the difficult one to hold, especially if you get contested over on Cathedral. Residential District can be such a chaotic area if you don't just stay close enough.
Yeah, it can be really dangerous. My question right now is about Vault 6, and it has spawned right in the forest, right near where all these players are fighting over right now. That's, of course, why we see them fighting. It's usually for some reason in this game that people fight.
Wait, is Cash Out A in the Cathedral?
I believe it is, but it's only there for another minute, and they haven't tapped the Vault 6 yet, so it will be quite a journey. They do, of course, have the gateways, and it's not a path that has many obstacles in it, either. Looks like A is being approached by Godlike Gamer.
Gamer.
Yeah, this is smart.
And Aimpoint has the opportunity, especially with that goo gun, to block off the cash out.
Yeah.
Right. What they could do is, if they don't want this cash to be plugged,
And
the
they
goo
won't.
gun is the best tool in this entire game to prevent that from happening. They're also going to have that high ground on the Cathedral that Saints 1 has to push through, or sorry, that Divine Dead has to push through should they want this. Right now, Saints 1, they're being uncontested over in the shopping district, just
Yes.
north of the Cathedral.
Resi have control of it, and they're running their way up. I need to get an eye on who's got this Vault 6 right now. It is being stopped by Aimpoint and Co. Godlike Gamer really don't want this plug to go through. It's being ferried up the spiral staircase, but it's a bit of a death trap, especially with the Sledge Heavy in play as Ollie is there. Only 5 seconds left, and that point is being ferried away from A. There's no way it gets plugged in Cathedral. A has disappeared. There's now only B to play for. 30 seconds left. Saints 1, well, they'll be counting their lucky stars that no one is coming for this. They have actually sent over a light to try and deal with that. But they're gonna.
if
Are they
they
gonna
can
try
get
and
the
double
plug.
it? It doesn't matter. They just need to steal. I mean, they just need to hold on to the point, really.
Yeah, but I mean, for them, this is just aura farming right now.
Yeah.
10 seconds, it doesn't matter. Look at that. They're going to be absolutely chilling as far as money. If only money gave you more points in this tournament. But we are going to see them aura farming now as they take out Godlike Gamer in one fell swoop before the round is over. And that's going to be map 2 going over towards Saints 1.
Yeah, Godlike Gamer doing fantastically, though, to come up in second place. But yeah, that really was aura farming at the end, as you say, Ardy. They had no reason to grab that box and bring it over. I would argue, though, of course, in a season, all those kills add up. If you can find yourself in and amongst it where everyone else is fighting, they knew that everyone would be fighting over that final vault, trying to deny it, trying to take it, all this stuff. They just send the fragger, you know? Just send someone in. Get him to pump up those stats. 7 and 3, very nice. And again,
Send who in?
Oh, this always happens, doesn't it? Always, every time with the someone jokes. Someone.ttv.
Reset, though, not too far behind the kills department. 18 kills. We see Godlike Gamer actually setting up with 13, one of the lowest. Saints 1, also just 16 kills only. It's kind of a close tie.
I think the kills and the final standings were in the opposite order. I think we had the team with the least kills was Saints 1, and they finished top, and it went down like that. So that's a very rare thing to see. But yeah, excellent play from Saints 1. They gained themselves their first place finish of the evening, and yeah, everyone else sort of trailing behind. Resi again with lots of kills, but just the 4th place podium finishes are not going to do you well in the long run.
Exactly, and I mean that's at least seeing the kills, right? It's not like they're getting completely blown out, right?
No.
They're having a competitive experience, but it's just the fights that they're winning are not the important ones, and that's why this game is so much fun. Is because there are certain fights that matter more than others, and when it comes down to it, you have to understand how the other teams are playing around it so that you can figure out, okay, let's see, what did we learn from the fights that we won? What did we learn from the fights that we lost? And if you don't figure that out by the second round of cash outs, well, there might not be enough time left to make that impact. But I got to say, chat, 2 more maps remain for our EU Playday. But tonight, 8 p.m. EST, we also have our NA games. So if you guys are feeling sad that, hey, we only got 2 games left here, don't feel sad, because we got even more coming up tonight for the NA Playday number 3.
Yeah, we're churning these out over here. Plenty of action. No matter what time of day, no matter what part of the world you're in, you can tune in and find the best finals players here right now, trying to make a name for themselves before the big old thing at the end of the year. You know, we've got our eyes on that. So yeah, very exciting. And where are we going next? This is a surprise to me. It's going to be Skyway Stadium. Hell yeah.
I love me some Skyway Stadium, and this is where we had a big upset earlier in the day.
It is. Is it? It is. Is it? I'm looking over my notes. I'm trying to scour through my brain.
Who got last place in Skyway Stadium on their own map pick? It was Aimers Red on their own map pick. So this time around, Saints won their map pick being Skyway Stadium. Hopefully, the Aimers Red, the Atelco curse, doesn't hit Mickey the same way. But we're looking now to see Resit start off strong. It is going to be a vie for the open office here to crack Vault 2 here against Saints 1 and Resit.
Here we go. We are watching right now someone on Saints 1. Don't get too confused. Throw out a glitch grenade, it does connect. Of course, those glitches, you know, they're handy as even just like a mini sonar at times. You throw them against the wall and get a hit marker, you know someone's on the other side of that wall. That's what that second one was about, but unfortunately his targets have disappeared to the roof. They're going to chase after him. Emilian already taken down, and now really someone has to pull off some heroics here to level this playing field. Resi really taking chunks out of Saints 1 here as down goes the final team. It's a 1 versus 1. Temmie Tim on the other side of this, and someone has the benefit of getting that jump pad, gets the red. Oh, he pops on up. Can Temmie Tim win the fight? Oh, the mesh shield comes out. That's usually a losing sign, but the quick melee is enough. Excellent juggle there from Temmie Tim in the 1 versus 1.
Oh, man. You said someone will be able to use that jump pad, and that someone was not someone TTV, unfortunately. Oh, we're going to check out now over towards the estate, sponsored by Volpe, as Godlike Gamer gets ready to set up. Now, they don't have a vault in hand, per se, but what they do have is a vault in Portal, as it's about to come through, getting ready to set forward into that attic cache out here. Cartone's possibly going to drop it out here, play it closer to the middle. No, they don't want to drop it out early. If you can choose to play that drop out later, you want to. Saints 1 going to be fighting here. As you look over to the other cache on the other side of the map at the business office, it's going to be a bloodbath between Resi and Divine Dead.
Oh, it absolutely is, and it looks like most of the blood or coins that are being spilled are Resi's. It's French blood all over the floor. Alone in Paris really raining hell upon them. He does get taken down. Resi looking pretty poor here in terms of money. That sounded like an insult. It just came out that way, you know. Didn't mean
Looking
it.
pretty racy, I'll say. But we're going to be seeing right now is Godlike Gamer. Oh, Aussie Punto going crazy. Taking out Mickey. Cartones as well is going to be down here. So looks like a pretty decent fight has gone through for Godlike Gamer here. Able to just remove Saints 1. No doubt thanks to the fact that they have that goo gun, which can really be a detriment if you don't respect it when you're running across an open field like the one that surrounds the estate. But now, instead of Saints 1, it's going to be a Resi pushing through, test their metal on the estate, sponsored by Volpe. See if Godlike Gamer can't hold them through enough. Temmie Tim going wild on that jump pad. The M60 throwing bullets down range.
That's what it does best, and it's not going to do enough into that heavy whose back is turned. Uses the barricade for a little bit of a vault there. Aimpoint does go down with the assist coming through for Temmie Tim. They need to be careful on this skill. Plenty of mines around it, and it has triggered, unfortunately, the outstretched arm, seemingly enough to do that. And he's still fending off a few more people. Ozipunto taken out there. There's still a presence of Godlike Gamer from here. They send it down with the C4.
Still up.
Medium is still up. You are right. We can see him out the corner of our screen right there. Can they get the steal going?
Oh, he gets the res!
Huge
Oh, that
res.
could be detrimental.
But the steal is successful with the goo gun not working, with the mesh shield coming out and making the difference. And the goo gun is taken out. Aimpoint down for the count yet again in this battle. Ozipinto having to back away, forfeiting control of the cash out. And that is surely going the way of Resi.
Wow, that was like their last chance to make that work out. And unfortunately, they just were unable to. Look at that. Every single team here is dead. It is just Resi up and standing, 17K in the bank there. And Saints 1, this is looking like we've seen this one. I've played these games before. This Saints 1 is currently sitting in last place on their own map pick as we get started with Vault 3 and 4.
Yeah, it's that a Telco curse, that Aimers Red curse that came earlier. Do you come to Skyway when you're winning? I would love for that to become a trend. Just a little bit more drama, a bit more story to kind of feed into the lore of the finals, the lore of this league. But we'll see what happens. Saints 1 still have plenty of time to recover from this, and they start by deleting a light that's trying to escape them. This is Godlike Gamer coming under the cosh right now.
Oh, I will say the light has escaped me if I'm going to be losing a fight like that. But we're seeing Saints 1 still really struggling up here. Although this could turn in their favor. It's going to be a 1v1 situation here. Someone versus a singular light from Godlike Gamer. Let's see if Aussie Punto is going to be able to get a res. Looks like he's sticking a res there. No. Instead, he has to back away just a little bit here. Aussie Punto holding tight. The ARN goes crazy, but oh, it's so close. He doesn't go for the quick res. He goes for the short one. Aziputo comes up the top. There we go. Saints 1. They survive.
Someone was looking If he'd picked a single other window, maybe he'd have made it there, but someone was too wise to play it directly in front of him. Saints 1 now taking the opportunity to head straight to C and intercept this cash out before it's plugged. It looks like it is successful from Resi, but now Temi Tim has to fend off 2 full HP Saints 1 players. They do get wiped, and that will go promptly in the direction of Saints 1.
Saints
It turns out,
1.
yeah, Resi were just the delivery boys.
Yep, Godlike Gamer, though, they are here at the open office, already ready for that second fight. Ozzy Punto, no doubt, still reeling from that last loss there. Emilian, ready to go. He misses the winch claw here. Is gonna actually bite him in the butt, as there's a lot of damage coming through from the light and the medium. Insta-res there coming through from Cartones. Bring Ozzy Punto back from the brink. You see Saints 1. They're struggling on this fight outside, and Cartones takes this as the opportunity to go and rush in to steal the cash out. He knows that Mickey is not running any mines, so this is going to be completely uncontested for them, as the Saints 1 has to worry about the rest of the team. This is wild.
Yeah, and Cartones with a good play, putting himself on the map right now. We're going to see them take down a player that's on his way over. Aimpoint filling that play with goo, actually hindering Aimpoint Cartonis shots there, and Cartonis pays for it with his life there. Sometimes that goo just causes more problems than it solves, and Aimpoint now left on 1 HP. And a Dream has to try and hold by himself, but I think Saints 1 are going to see this as an opportunity to stick this steal. Be careful of that mine there, as Mickey drops on it.
Not again.
It could happen, but now, of course, the mine's working in their favour as they throw a couple more. Gas Mine's really seeing a resurgence in terms of pick rate at the moment.
Oh, but unfortunately that winch claw is going to pull the mines right in. There's still a couple standing, though.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing to happen. And honestly, this open area of the open office is going to be really good. You can see Resi actually pushing over to see Vault 5, of course, being worth a little bit more money, more worth it to go and take that fight as well. You can see that that cash out is about to finish for Saints 1. And we'll see what happens next. Cash out B spawns all the way over to the side. I can't tell if that's the end of construction or the beginning of market.
Oh, Resi. They've been sniffed out, and a glitch grenade comes their way. Everex takes the brunt of a beating there, but they do manage to fall back. They're just trying to hide, play positionally here, wait for that Vault to cross their sight lines. It is crossing right now. Ozzy Punto gets beamed from range. I don't know if he fell. No, he did not. Rose, wow, what the hell? That's got to feel rough. Taken out by a long-range RPG. Of course, he will be quickly rezzed, so not too much of a big deal there, but it does buy them some time on the escape here, Resi. They're now trying to follow on, and they get bombed down by Saints 1, who take control over that Vault position. Someone taken out by YOLO2D. There's the last player on Resi. Surely he's a goner here on 50 HP or so, but he does take out
but he
Mickey.
survives.
I don't know how he does that. That's unbelievable. He's still up and running. 2 minutes left on the timer. Vault 6 has been tapped successfully by Resi, but it's being guarded by Saints 1 right now.
Oh, great res there from Temi Tim. Of course, the jump pad underneath to bring him right up to the top the moment he respawns. A little love tap there from YOLO as he tries to look towards his team. There's Mickey coming to the top there for the revenge. Mickey wins the revenge fight with a sliver of HP remaining.
They were wiping there, Resi, but someone has coined in to try and keep themselves up. The cash out on the far side, beyond construction in residential, is being contested right now. Ollie is the last one, in fact, alive, trying to attack this, or trying to attack it. Godlike Gamer's defending this, and Ollie has to fall back, wait for about 15 seconds or so for his team to come back up, but he's being chased here. Great spidey senses from the pink player. That is Cartonas chasing down Ollie. So yeah, Cartonas having a good game.
This is another situation where these cash outs aren't that far away from one another. We got construction, and then we got market district. I mean, they're sort of right next to one another. This could mean a good set of choices for these teams, but 50 seconds on the clock. Won't have a lot of time to make those choices, especially for Resi, as it look like they're about to make sure that they're locking in this last one, getting ready to snipe out their moment of opportunity for cash out B. Diving up, there's Emilian on the sidelines. He's just above them. No doubt he hears them. Looking like a good moment here to strike. Emilian starts off strong, takes out Temi Tim. Mickey gonna go from the top ropes here. Grenade in hand.
Doesn't quite work though, and they're not finding the kills. They do have the defense solidly. They find it. That's the last one on Resi. Finally, a solid defense for Saints 1. They are surely in with the first place finish here, but we hop on over to the other cash out, and it is Alone in Paris watching right now. Only 1 HP, only Rose left standing on the side of Divine, and in fact, he is taken out as well. 2 wipes. 2 very comfortable final points. Godlike Game claim the second place finish, excuse me. Saints 1. that's the end of the sentence. Saints won.
Saints won.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. It's in the name. And honestly, it's very good to see that there is no curse about. As Saints won, they take their map pick all the way to the end. And I got to say, 13 eliminations by someone. That's 23 kills for this team. Wild.
Absolutely wild. And this was what Saints 1 were probably eyeing up at the start of the day. The opportunity to really climb in the rankings, seeing these sides that are struggling at the bottom of the table and saying, you know what, we can have them all. Let's go for kills. Let's get these first place finishes. They're doing just that. They've only fallen shy on Fortune. The second place finish they had to settle for there. But yeah, they'll get the pick of the last map as well. Could make a big difference.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those cases where I genuinely was not expecting it after we saw the first couple of cash outs. But again, the finals is a game of adaptations. Who can get there faster? Who can get there a little bit better? And who can make sure that they can maintain standings when all of the coins fall in place?
Absolutely. And the coins so far have been falling in the laps of Saints 1. They really haven't been falling the way of Rassi. That's 3 last place finishes in a row, Artie. I hate to bring it up, but it is starting to stick out like a sore thumb. There's only so much you can ignore. And this time they didn't even have the saving grace of having the top fraggers on their team, languishing now in every department. So they've got to step it up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens when we see the standings towards the end of this group stage. But, Jerry, math, very hard for me. How many maps are there remaining? I believe only this many.
Yeah, we're on our final map. One more. And it, again, is up to Saints 1 to choose where we're going. We've seen Monaco, we've seen Skyway. Maybe they're a fan of the old. And we can hear our game just getting started right now. I didn't
It sounds
that.
like...
What does it sound like? What map
possibly
does this sound like?
Cis Horizon is what that loading screen button sounded like to me.
Ah, okay. That's a very acute ear there you've got, Artie, and also a very cute ear. You got nice ears.
Oh, you've never seen my ears. I've only spoken to you with headphones on, but you know what? I'll take the flattery. Absolutely. Thank you.
That's actually very true. Of all of the things I could have complimented you on.
And gamers, as a reminder, 8 p.m. PST tonight. We've got more matches for you for the NA bracket. But for now, welcome in to Group C, Map 4, the final map for the EU Playday number 3 for Split Zero. Let's get ready to see what these teams have for us here on Cis Horizon.
Thank you very much, CNS, for bringing us this exquisite map. We get to see it in all its glory, all its unfinished glory. As we start things off looking at Saints 1 sailing towards that second vault they're going to come into contention with. Divine Dead. Purple versus orange over here on Vault 2. And my money's on Saints 1. Don't know about you, Artie.
I mean, hey, it's in the name Saints 1, so we'll see what happens now. Let's see, Divine Dead, it is also in their name to be dead, but they start off pretty strong with a tap and a kill, but unfortunately for them, as Oyi goes down to very low HP, there will be a res down towards the bottom as the defibs land on the light there, but Alone in Paris, he is going to be alone in the dark as he gets shot out. Divine Dead removed from the lobby here, and jump over to the other vault fighting there over by Vault 1 is going to be Godlike Gamer that falls away as Resit take the very first vault.
Important for them as well to make sure they get something out of this Playday. They're going to be really struggling if they continue on the trend that they have set so far. So, Average, YOLO 2D and Timmy Tim heading towards B. A nice point in the very far corner of the map. Of course, you've got lots of opportunity to drop this. This feels like the most droppable point in the entirety of this Horizon. Goes down like 3 or 4 floors minimum, usually, the way it plays out. We'll turn our attention to Divine Dead, who are chasing after A. That's been plugged by Saints 1. They want a bit of revenge for the way they got completely smothered and smushed in that first engagement. But the glitch comes out. It's going to stall their approach for the time being. They are taking some flak as well from range. The ARN doing its business. Someone hot off the back of 14 kills on Skyway. He's going to be hungry.
Oh, this is really great to see, especially if we look towards Cash Out A. I mean, Saints 1, they have a really nice wide hold on this. And I see Godlike Gamer, they're going to be the ones that possibly could come through. And, well, I mean, depending if Rassi actually decides to jump on this. But no, they have gone to full commit. In fact, Rassi is actually getting stolen from right now over to the other side. And it will be Godlike Gamer that comes to control of that. We see Divine Dead now jumping up to the rooftops here. Try and find, but Emilian, he's still stalwart in his position. So much damage. Every member of Divine Dead is down to low HP. Lone in Paris goes out. Rose will go out as well. That leaves one player left for Divine Dead. Will he survive? No, the heavy. Oi, taking so much damage there. And someone goes out as well. Emilian, 9 HP. Very risky play to dive through there, almost getting hit by the gas. But Saints 1, they've survived so far, Jerry.
Yeah, that is the first assault fended off. They will probably have to survive another, potentially. We'll turn our attention to B, which was successfully stolen by Godlike Gamer as we missed. But Resi are still up and fighting. They're still around. I believe it's a 2 versus 3. No, it is a full 3 versus 3 here. We're following Averex right now, see if he can make an impact. Does see the back of a heavy. You always love that as a light, but he can't empty that XP mag quickly enough. And he's missing some shots onto the medium as well. YOLO TUD has been taken down in the meantime as well. So this is now a 2 versus 3. They're going to try and res this totem behind cover. But I feel as though the opportunity has been spurned. The timer is dwindling. And they can play for kills here. But, unfortunately, that cash will go the way of Godlike Gamer.
Oh, yeah. Well, that ends our first round of cash outs there. It is going to be Saints 1, Godlike Gamer taking those cash outs. Vault 3 spawns over towards campus. And even though there's already 2 teams well close enough to make use of it, it's Resi who gets there first. We're going to see not only that, but Vault 4 spawns quite close by. And it will be a good opportunity for them to actually get possibly both Vault procs.
Yeah, and you get a bit of money for each Vault proc, of course. I believe it's £1,000 each time, no matter which wave you're on. So they'll like
Pounds is crazy.
Yeah, pounds is crazy. You're right. What am I talking about here? It's dollars.
Well,
it's a European-based dev, and they've gone with dollars.
Yeah, I was gonna say a joke about the US dollar, but well,
it would make you cry. I don't think you'd be able to stomach any jokes about the US dollar right now, Arden.
Well, I'm also struggling to stomach food given everything else that's going on, but we'll see what happens now as we can see Divine Dead currently striking fear into the hearts of the enemies as Vault 3 gets ready to make its way over to somewhere, but that's going to be cut off by quite a bit of contention as we see Saints 1 getting ready to dive in, but it's Resi dealing damage to Divine Dead on the staircase of Art Gallery.
Yep, and that 15,000 Freedom Units box is being ferried now all the way to C. And there's not much that they can do about it here. D has been started successfully. 12k being fought over here by
Both
Godlike
of these are
Gamer.
Library! Why does this keep happening?
We love it. They are quite far apart in sort of separate sections of the library, so not too chaotic, but it definitely could come into play, especially with how far ahead D is. I can envisage a world with the team that gets D, runs over to C and contests that as well once it's done.
1,000%.
Yeah.
We're going to see Saints 1 being the first ones to try to push their luck over on D, up against Godlike Gamer, who's holding from underneath there. Ozzy Puja going to be able to recover all of his HP there. They TP up to the top, playing just above it. This is beautiful strategy here as they started on the same level, TP'd up. Mickey going to be taking the jump pad all the way up right into a few different barrels there. And even though Ozzy Puto goes away with 1 HP, he's still going to be able to make the shots out on a Mickey. To see someone going to be able to finally finish up that kill there. Godlike Gamer, they're down to just a singular player as Divine Dead jumps in to join the fight as well. And now it's Godlike Gamer who is currently on the back foot as Divine Dead steals the cash out there. Saints 1 also unable to take a capitalization on their sweet, sweet victory.
Ooh, 20 seconds left though on this point, and Divine Dead do have a chance to try and resurge to retake this. Saints 1 have abandoned ship, it seems. They have barely anything to wait, Divine Dead are the ones that sell. What am I talking about? Yeah. I lost my marbles for a second there. Divine Dead probably going to head on over to C where there's more action, Artie.
And also more time. Look at how tight these scorelines are here. If Resi manages to hold on to this for a long time, this could be huge, especially given the fact that all three of them are still up, but they're about to get collapsed in on by everybody here. Divine Dead about to jump in and make their lives a lot harder, especially as Averex goes down. This is looking a little bit ugly. Temmy Tim holding out to the sideline. They're going to try and take the bounce pad in order to stay alive for a little bit longer, but YOLO 2D, he's holding down, but it's Divine Dead that take the shots. Godlike Gamer, they're in for the steal. They're going to be uncontested on this steal right now. Nobody from Resi is around to stall it, but there are some from Divine Dead that can, and Divine Dead, they stall it out for Resi. Resi, but it wasn't an act of kindness. No, they're going to try to steal it themselves, but now Saints won. They're on the back. It's Emilian who's holding the steal. Now the dome gets taken out by the glitch grenade here. Oi's coming in for the back. He throws the dome of his own. He's going to be able to tie it out to Emilian. Emilian can't get the steal. Oi, he's holding, but it's Resi still in control of the cash out through all the chaos. Resi takes the money.
That is the most finals the finals has ever been. Unbelievable. Resi coming out on top despite dying about half a minute ago. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. We head to the final round of vaults here, ladies and gents, and look at the scores. Look how tight it is. 90 seconds left. It is anyone's game. Can Resi finally finish anywhere above 4th place? Will Saints 1 get their first place finish in a row? I couldn't tell you.
This is anyone's game. Like we keep saying, when the score lines are this close, it is absolutely just so much fun. The amount of chaos that comes through here is just, it's integral to the finals and what the final stands for. We see Cash Out A getting started over here in campus, and there's already Divine Dead Saves 1 going crazy on one another.
Wow, Oi taken out there at range by someone who's continuing his frag fiesta, but he's put to sleep by Divine Dead, who want to try and steal this. They've got an eye on it. Mickey, the only one alive, currently defending Cash Out 8 for his team. There is a dome shield lingering from his fallen comrade. He will try and get Emilian back up, but he has to get away from another heavy who's chasing him down. He has the defib. No, he doesn't have the defib, so this is going to be really rough. He has to win the fight. He does, taking out Averix, but there's even more players on his tail now. He's just hovering around. Someone, in the meantime, has coined back in, so there is still a chance for Saints 1 to hold on to it. The cash has been doubled, but it is being stolen right now by the pink team of Godlike Gamer. They have gooed it off. They have walled it off. They have stolen it, and they will propel themselves from last place to first if they can hold it for another minute, Hardy.
Oh, and they do. They already took out Mickey. Emilian is already down as well. It's just up to someone on Saints 1 here as they get wiped. Now it's going to be Godlike Gamer who need this to propel themselves all the way up. As you said, we can see as Saints 1, as Godlike Gamer, they hold out to the sideline. They know that they can hold the same position Saints 1 was holding before. Divine Dead, they're fighting up from the top lines here. Godlike Gamer, they're about to lose their heavy. That is going to be very, very unfortunate, especially given the fact that Divine Dead, they have all the space in the world to get the res. 40 seconds on the clock. Here comes Resi down to try to make a little bit of an impact here, a little bit of a statement of their own as the damage starts to come through. They've already removed another member of Divine Dead here, but looking like aim point from Godlike Gamer. He's able to come back right now as Saints 1 enters the fight yet again.
Ooh, Saints 1 coming in with 20 seconds left, and they are about 5 or 6 kills behind Resi, so they have to play for the point here, otherwise they will finish in 3rd. They get winching and pull that point over, trying to guard it. Emilian right in the corner of the room, but there's surely too many bodies for him to stick this out. Oh, he's holding it on. It's being successful. No, he's forced off of it, and that is Godlike Gamer at the end of it all with the big money.
Wow. What a way to finish the day. And Resi coming in 2nd place off the back of a steal that was prevented by 3 other teams. Absolutely incredible. We can't see Ozzy Puto's scoreline there, but we will be able to see it up on this next screen to see the final kill counts. And only 11 kills from Godlike Gamer.
Wow.
And on Resi, only 14.
And a strange trend continues. 2 strange trends, in fact. Divine Dead with the most kills, but finishing last on a single player. That's Rose. But of course, look at the kills across the board from Saints 1. That is huge. Of course, every kill
26.
being 500 in server would have made a big difference. Of course, it wasn't enough to claim 2nd place in the server. The strangest trend I will reveal to you. Over these 4 maps, Divine Dead came 1st, then 2nd, then 3rd, then 4th. They have tumbled down the standings.
A staircase of finishes.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, dollar cost average is what I'll say. I mean, that's not a bad place to be as far as points go. Better than not finishing first at all. But a huge shout out to all of the teams. And well, as soon as we get those final score standings in place, I'm very excited to see where we finish the day once we can finally tally in everything from Group A, B, and C. But Jerry, that final, the second to last cash out that we saw there, that had to be the best end cap we've ever had to a tournament.
It really was. Just the absolute chaos of a final point being piled on by every single team, one after another, and nobody wins. It's the team that
Not
had
a
it in the
single
very
person.
first case, Reci, that managed to get it. And that was huge for them as well. That contributed hugely to their second place finish in that map, which is massive. That's more points than they would have accrued throughout the whole of today before that point. So a big step up for Reci. And yeah, congrats to them for making that step up. But overall, I'd say the winners in this group, as predicted, were Saints 1. They had a couple of first place finishes, a second place finish, a third on that final map. Unpredictable as Sis Horizon proved to be. Artie, I've enjoyed every minute of this. It's been unbelievable. We are waiting, of course, for those final standings to come through. So,
well, before we get to the final standings, Jerry, we have a giveaway in chat. And as we love to do with the giveaway, chat, to make sure that it's going to go to a deserving actual watcher of the finals, I'm going to give you guys a secret keyword. There is going to be a keyword that I will say, and our absolutely advanced AI system is going to be looking through the chat and picking a random person who has typed that word with perfect spelling. That is right, spelling does count. And that word is going to be, of course, Jerry, absolutely unpredictable. It's unpredictable is the name of our word of the day. So everybody in chat, type the word unpredictable into the chat box for your chance to win the giveaway here for the multi-bucks. And anybody that types in unpredictable,
it's a 6 out of 10 on the spelling difficulty scale. We are a little bit delayed. Just bear in mind we are about 30 seconds into the future compared to you, so we have to wait a little bit before all these people enter. So in the meantime, Artie, what was your moment of the day? I'm going to force you to choose something different to that second to last cash out on Sis Horizon. Rack your brain.
It had to be Aimers Red, like really fumbling the bag on Skyway. Because Aimers Red, they had such a great run through every other map. But then seeing them kind of give presence and give kind of, I mean, they didn't give it intentionally, but they did give a big opportunity for the other teams in their group, for Burnt Nuggets, for NTHX to actually get up on the board. And to see NTHX have an opportunity to perform was pretty good. So I think it would be Group B's Skyway Stadium.
Yeah, that was a very exciting map as well. Yeah, I've got to agree. It was up there. I can't actually, now that I've put you on the spot, I'm trying to answer the same question, and I can't. My brain has fallen out. Watching someone get 14 kills on Skyway himself in that last series, or that last group rather, was pretty impressive. Yeah, I'm also just checking chat right now. We have a lot of unpredictables in chat. We have a lot of misspelled unpredictables, which is also funny.
We do. Alrighty, our advanced AI system is currently going through, checking spellings, adding people to a random number generator, which will come through to maintain the multi-bucks giveaway in some absolutely incredible presence. And drum roll, please. I still don't have a...
I knew that. I'm sure that's not annoying.
Sankey 7. Sankey 7, unpredictable. Sankey 7. That ending was unpredictable.
Well done. And it was an unpredictable ending. Thank you. With the soundboard. Excellent. All right. So let's have a look at these standings. And can we just get a quick confirmation from production that this is fully up to date and ready to dissect? And we believe so.
Alrighty.
That's
and that's
what I
going to be
wanted to hear.
Saints 1 and Aimers Blue up above that 1,000 point mark. Aimers Red not quite making it there.
Yeah. It's actually similar to how it panned out after day 2. We're kind of starting to see teams settle into various locations in the standings. I'm just trying to find the biggest climbers. Burnt Nuggets jumping up from 8th to 5th today. Huge for them. Gamblers falling a little bit, a couple of places. NTHX falling as well. Godlike Gamer have jumped a couple of positions, but the top 2 remain the same. Saints 1 and Aimers Blue. And I think Gungala as well were in 3rd at the very start of the day. Yes, they were. So, in fact, the top 4 remain the same.
Yeah, I will say for Reci, like being kind of stuck towards the bottom there, It is quite a considerable difference, right? About 140 points, to say the least, in between Legacy and Divine Dead. So for those that are in the bottom four, I do think it is competitive with at the very least Godlike Gamer and THX. They have a chance to make it up to the top there, but that chance is reliant on Gamblers and Zesties not doing as well as the others in the next group. So I think that it's going to come down to a mix of Godlike Gamer and NTHX really putting in the work to get up to that point, and a little bit of luck for Zesties and Gamblers to not be doing the same.
And of course, it's probably worth talking now about just where those boundaries lie. Of course, very nicely laid out on our table. Those top two seeds will advance very quickly through the playoff bracket. They get a bit of a jump ahead, but the 3rd to 8th places are where you're really paying close attention here. Those are the valuable spots. So it is absolutely attainable for those teams at the bottom, only 3 days in, to try and jump into those 8th, 7th, 6th positions. It will come down to coming up against these teams, Crutches, Zesties, Gamblers, seeing if you can get the better of them specifically. So yeah, these games coming up in the next few weeks where these teams will face against each other, it's they're going to be like what we refer to in football as 6-pointers. Of course, there's more points going on than that, but where you have like a relegation scrap, and it's really 3 points you play for in football. But if you're playing against someone else that's also vying for those 3 points, it's a 6-pointer. So yeah, really important you win those head-to-heads.
Absolutely. And as a reminder, everybody, thank you so much for getting Pro Hubs affiliated on Twitch. Anything that comes out through Twitch goes directly in the prize pool. You can also donate directly to the prize pool on prohubs.tf. There's a donate button up at the top there. If you're not already part of the Discord, which I think everybody here pretty much is, you go ahead and join the Discord. Actually follow Jerry and I on socials, as well as Pro Hubs on Twitter or X. I refuse to call it that. But everybody also stay tuned, because tonight, 8 p.m. EST, is the NA matches. So you guys want to see even more incredible Pro Hubs and even less Artie and Jerry, well, you can see that. But once again, a huge shout out to the production here at Pro Hubs. A huge shout out to Burrita, to everybody in the background. Jerry, a big shout out to you, brother. And chat, you guys are the reason we are here. We're keeping the finals alive, keeping the finals esports dream ready. We're getting ready for that big thing at the end of the year. Jerry, before I send it off, any final words?
No. Bye-bye, everyone.